to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Wow, that weekend went fast.
It's a great weekend, though, Mike.
Was it? Welcome to the Detroit Cast, everybody. On a Monday with Mike and Jay. Of course, Big E's here. Kadog, still an asshole, yet here. How was the weekend? What'd you do?
It's one of those great Michigan summer weekends, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great weather. Get out on the lake a bit.
Yeah.
Splendid.
What'd you do on the lake?
Boat,
Swim.
paddle boards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good
Did
time.
beer drinking with
A
the
little
kids?
bit. Saw my brother for the first time in a long time.
Chet, how's he doing?
Chester's good.
Yeah.
Chester.
Is he still working on the honey
No, he does the maple syrup.
or the maple syrup?
Yeah,
I mean?
he's still tapping trees
Yeah, good.
around suburban Canton.
Yeah.
Right, just
It's a prime spot.
if anybody sees a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket hanging from a maple tree in Canton, it's my brother.
It's Chet.
Yeah, just leave it alone. He'll
Has he
grab it.
marked his territory? Would he be mad if I tapped a tree out there?
Yeah, don't fuck with his territory.
Yeah.
It's
I
sort of
won't.
like a cartel out there.
Yeah.
A cartel.
We'll be talking about some cartels today.
Oh,
Jake.
we
Or
certainly will.
Mike. I did
Yes.
call you Jake. For?
Yeah. Did you? I thought you called me Jay.
No,
Jake?
I called you Jake.
It's because of my youthful appearance. That's why. Reminds you of your friend who's in like 6th grade.
What the fuck?
How you doing, E? How was your weekend?
Good, man.
Anything exciting? You were
Jay's
out on the
right.
lake too.
Jay's right. It was like a great, like on Saturday, originally I had plans to go to like a kind of a new club I hadn't been to yet. And then I got a text from somebody like, hey, we're doing a bonfire. And I was just like, yeah, man, I can go to that club in 2 months, but
There you go. You
sit
got to
outside
take
and have a
advantage of the weather.
bonfire. Right, dude. And then, yeah, I was on the lake today. Michigan.
Guys,
What's
This
good?
is bullshit, though. You guys are all going to these gel skis, and I'm stuck at home. Nobody's
You could
invited
go
me
to gel
shit.
skis. Are you serious?
Nobody's invited me to shit. What am I going to throw my own gel ski?
Would you have driven all the way out to fucking White
How
Lake,
about you
Michigan?
ask?
Okay,
How about
next
you
time
ask?
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I will
I
send you a
won't go with
text.
you, but if he invited me somewhere, I might go.
Dude,
K-Dog had a fucking birthday the other day.
Didn't
And
invite you.
It was a surprise party, and they didn't even bother sending any one of us an invite.
Yeah.
They went go-karting, my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, the
of
thing
all
you
time.
said that you on this show many times that you want
Yes.
to be able to do when you're old, and you hopefully you'll still enjoy go-karting.
This is the best birthday of your life. 36 years old. As I've stated
Wow,
before,
sweet.
the first age when you're legally allowed to fuck someone half your age. And that's
about it, Ian.
I
that's
got
a
a few years to go
celebratory
still.
that's a big one that you want to celebrate. The 36 is one of my favorite birthdays. And he goes go-karting and we don't get a simple invite.
No.
It's true.
I blame Robin a little bit. She
Oh,
could have
absolutely.
easily invited us,
Well,
but that's bullshit.
I don't think Robin knew your love of go-karting because she doesn't listen. Does
Oh,
she? Is she a
no.
listener?
She's
Did
not
they
a
get the
fan.
show in
God
Canada?
damn it, Robin.
Did they get the show in Canada or no? It's not available there?
By the
They absolutely get it up there. I
They
don't
do.
know what her
Okay,
excuse
I
is.
wasn't sure.
No, she does listen probably about once a week.
Oh, yeah. when you're
twice,
here.
twice a week.
Twice a
when
week,
Kadog's
yeah.
on, right?
Yeah.
I only listen to the Kadog
Or go home and
episodes.
go.
No, I tell her
Make sure you listen
Yeah.
to the first break right out of the gate on
about 10
Monday's
minutes
show.
in, I made a sick remark.
Yeah, they talk about my sick-ass farmer's tan today.
I tell her not to listen when I'm on because whatever is said on the radio.
Oh,
Should
stays on the
stay
radio.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's public for everybody but her.
But her.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. I
But-
can't make fun of you for that.
dude, by the way, something, I mean, we've always talked about like the idea of saying good damn it and some of the stuff that like the listener, right, right, like the listeners have things where they say it, gets into their life. But like, dude, it's not just them. Like it's me. Like when I was at the lake today, the person had a dog proops. And like when the dog's walking around, like it's like a fresh, it's like 1 year old, so it's still kind of a baby.
It's fresh.
I sit there and go, like, it's getting scared of the waves. Not just look at the proops, but like it's getting scared of the waves. And I'm like, oh, what are these waves doing? I don't know what's going on. Like
I'm scared of the waves.
Talking in the
Where
animal.
did I want it to be?
Right. And at one point it was tied up like with not tied up, but like, a kind of a leash thing. And I'm like, it got tangled. Well, I'm tangled up. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing here? Tangled up. It's like it's so. And they must have been.
It's contagious.
I know. And they look at you and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, and I don't even know how to explain it because then I feel like I'm an asshole. Like, well, the podcast that I do, the host likes to talk like the dog is talking, and now I talk like the dog is talking
because I'm a retard.
Right? Oh, look at that proof. Now I'm.
I can't, dude. I laugh myself silly every time Beth pulls up, and I'm like, "Yep, here I am riding shotgun in someone else's car because I can't drive for shit.
I can't drive.
Can't drive for shit. Got to get a ride over.
All buckled up in her stupid seatbelt.
By the way,
look at me sitting shotgun like a big dog.
Right, dude. Exactly. Like, and so you're talking, and I'm just sitting here for like 10 minutes, just like, yep, I'm walking around. Oh, the waves. What are these waves? I'm scared. I'm still a baby.
You don't have to do that. You can reject that urge.
I know, but I couldn't.
Just suppress it.
I
can't either. I've tried.
And
it's nearly impossible.
So anyway, that was fun. But dude, Jay, the thing is, you are right. And I think sometimes people, the winter's a bummer and blah blah blah. But I think the thing is that it makes the summer weekends so awesome.
You appreciate it more,
dude. I was just sitting there at one point, like kind of on the picnic table, staring out at the lake, and I'm like, oh my, it really is awesome. Michigan summers. There's something about it for sure.
Yep.
So, well, what is Mike yapping about? Why is he yapping?
Yeah, he looks out the window.
I wasn't invited anywhere, so
I'll show you images.
He sees sun and green grass instead of snow, so that makes him happy.
I'll show you images of me doing it, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, I used to get invited out to stuff, barbecues and campfires, Jelskis all over the town. Not anymore. Apparently, my buddies do all that stuff, but I will let a party. I'd invite you guys, but whatever.
I will let you know next time.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to mention the Amazon link before you introduce the show. I'll just mention we have an Amazon link on our homepage, DetroitCast.com. Please click on it and shop as you normally do. It won't charge you anymore, and it's a great way to donate to the show because Amazon gives us a bit of a kickback. So please use Amazon.
Dare I say a big show today coming off the weekend. We've got some autism treatments. Who knew? I mean, we could work on E.
Controversial, but
yeah, worth a shot though, right? What do you have to lose? Fake Facebookers. These sons of
those
bitches.
Assholes.
I can't even.
What a douche.
Can't imagine.
What douchebag would ever do that?
Walmart. Some more on them. The dead raccoon that went viral over the weekend. A few stories went viral over the weekend, including Michael Brown's art.
Who?
The unarmed teen that's no longer with us. His father made an appearance in Detroit on Friday.
He came away from Soon, did he?
Yeah, he got away from Soon. This isn't the prime time to go to Soon.
This is.
Remember?
Gotcha.
I believe it was last winter that he was gone to Soon.
Soon is more of a winter destination.
It's beautiful that time of year.
Yeah, gorgeous. Everybody knows that. So yeah, he left Soon and made his way to Detroit. So we'll talk about how that went. We've got some fat models being forced upon us, as if that's hot. We'll get to that in a minute. But how could we not start with El Chapo?
Man, the little man.
Yes, the wee guy, 5'6". That's why they call him El Chapo, which is the shorty. For those that haven't brushed up on there,
I haven't. So thank you.
Yes, you didn't know that, did you? He's Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is his name, and he's known as the Osama bin Laden of the Mexican drug world. So yeah, I've got some stories about his past as well, but. He escaped from a maximum security prison in Mexico.
Everything's so damn crooked, dude.
Yeah, it is. This is the second time, by the way, he's busted out of a max security place. Last time he was gone for 13 years. Yeah. He fled through an elaborate network of tunnels underneath his cell. He's part of the Sinaloa cartel. And he's on the run now. It's just outside Mexico City. His escape saw him go through a mile-long tunnel system underneath the prison, which led to a building under construction next to the prison.
So this is something that individuals actually dug. It wasn't part of a sewer or anything like that.
Dude, I think it might have been built for him. It had like a motorized something that you could drive on. It's like cemented.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's tunnel systems like that across the border you always hear about. And Israel, Palestine, remember we heard all about that?
Yep.
There's this whole network of little rats who are digging holes like this all over the world, apparently.
Was this a different one or not? I thought they did a 60-minute story on this, unless that was another one that I was thinking of.
Of the tunnels?
Yeah, where they were talking about catching this dude, I thought. But maybe that was a different...
This just happened
okay, so
yesterday.
Obviously, it was a different guy I was talking about.
They said he was last seen 9 o'clock Saturday night on surveillance camera. I think he was going into the shower in his cell. And then after time, he was lost on the prison camera surveillance network. So then they went to check on his cell, which they found empty and a hole near his shower. And he was bye-bye. He used an elaborate escape hatch.
His buddy's just dug up right underneath his personal shower.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Isn't that nuts?
Like a 20 by 20 hole, right?
Yeah. Along the tunnel, they found construction tools, oxygen tanks, containers with fuel, plastic tubes. 18 workers have been taken in for interrogation through the prison. He runs a drug empire that stretches across North America into Europe and Australia. His latest escape comes just 16 months after he was captured, following more than a decade on the run, 13 years. He transformed himself, they say, from this like low mid-level drug runner to the guy. Most powerful drug trafficker in the world. He was put on the U.S. DEA's most wanted list and most powerful list. His fortune estimated at over $1 billion.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy? That's according to Forbes magazine, by the way. Yeah, they listed him among the world's most powerful people and ranked him above the presidents of France and Venezuela.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's worth it, though, right? He's obviously rich as shit, could buy anything he wanted, but do you have any peace in your life the whole time?
I've always thought that about the idea of
the whole time you're
or,
wondering, like,
right?
Yeah, he's my guy, right? He's my right hand man. But if somebody gives him the right amount of money or the right amount of power, he's going to off me in a second.
Yeah, no, that's the game with these guys.
The chick I'm laying in bed with right now, like, is she going to off me?
Yeah,
in a second?
Dude, I've always thought that about like the mob and right, and this idea you watch. I mean, I know The Godfather is a movie, or whatever, but you watch that, and there's always this thing of having to take out anybody who might be
constantly have your head on a swivel, right, and wondering, and
just like kings and shit.
Be ready to kill anybody close to you who you suspect.
Yeah,
and
when you read stuff about these guys, it's like his most trusted guy turned on him and blah blah blah, and you're like, dude, yeah, you how could you not be the most paranoid dude on the planet if that's. But they said when he was a mid-level guy trying to make his way in this, I mean, this goes back to the 70s and 80s, and he was flying coke and stuff in planes and landing them in fields for distribution into the United States. And if people were even tardy with the delivery, like if the plane didn't land on time, he would just shoot you in the head. Like, this is the kind of dude you're dealing with. He would just kill you on sight, shoot you in the head if you were late. Not you didn't show up, you fucked him over.
I guess it's the approach you have to have, right? You can't let anything go because it could be the one that gets you. So constant paranoia and just constantly taking people out and watching your back. It'd be awful to me.
Yeah.
It's no rest.
Yeah, I totally agree. But for these guys, if that's what you grow up in, that's really all you know. I mean, it sounds like his family was like farmers, and they just did kind of menial work in the country, and then you kind of get into this, and all of a sudden you've got money, you're getting some power, and you're off and running. But yeah, it's a brutal life, man. They said
because think about this, like you are virtually certain to die a violent death, right? That guy's gonna die with a bullet in his head
at some point. Yeah,
you just have to know,
right?
That.
You're never gonna.
So you're just trying to go as long as you can.
The idea that you're gonna die under whatever normal circumstances or
somebody's gonna off him,
right?
And he has to know that.
Yeah, and it's not something where it's like, oh, I worked hard all my life, I made this small fortune, now I'm gonna retire to an island. No, you're almost never out of that game, really. I mean, you are never out of that game. Yeah. It's just a constant for the rest of your life. So they talk about when he hid in this laundry cart for his last getaway, and
little El Chapo.
He was hiding in a laundry cart. They just kind of they pushed him out of the jail, and off he went. It took him a while to. They didn't even realize he was gone. They ended up capturing him.
That little Chapo all curled up in a laundry. Look at that Chapo. Look at him.
Proofs. Snug as a bug in a rug. Look at him go. Son of a bitch. Yeah, they found houses with steel-enforced doors, elaborate tunnels where he'd been staying that allowed him to escape through these sewer systems. He was known to move around frequently. So this is one of those you can't ever be comfortable. It's kind of what you're saying. Using private aircraft, bulletproof SUVs everywhere you go. And so as I read more about this dude and some of the stuff he's known for, like he would have constant wars, with these other, everybody's jockeying for position to run the cartels.
Yeah.
And one of his guys, Palma, they struck back at this one Tijuana cartel, the Felix brothers. They had this ongoing war with the Felix brothers with 9 killings on one day. They killed 9 of these guys back in 92. Among the dead were lawyers, family members of these Felix brothers. So they're taking their lawyers out and everything else.
Another reason not to be a lawyer.
Right.
Add that to the checklist. To the
So-
big board.
Mexico's attorney general forms a special unit to look into the killings, but the investigation was called off after the unit found that Guzman had paid off some of the top police officials in Mexico with $10 million. Yeah. Felix attempted to kill Guzman then as he was traveling in a vehicle through the streets of Guadalajara. At least 4 of his henchmen shot at the moving vehicle with AK-47s. And the drug lord managed to escape unarmed. The attack forced Guzman to leave Guadalajara and live under a false name. He's worried about future attacks. So he and this Palma guy respond to that assassination attempt. Nobody can just let anything go.
No.
You got to show you're the tougher guy. And in similar fashion, several days later, a large commando of the Sinaloa cartel posing as policemen stormed this discotheque in Puerto Vallarta, spotted Ramon and Francisco Felix, the Felix brothers, and opened fire at them. The shooting lasted for 8 minutes at least. Over 1,000 rounds were spilled. Yeah, but these guys happened to be in the pisser at the time, probably doing lines of blow or something, snuck out through a vent and got out of there, but there was all kinds of dead people laying around. So that this war continues for another 6 months, yet none of their leaders were killed. And by mid-93, the Felix clan sent their top guy, their top killer gunman, on a final mission to kill Guzman in Guadalajara, where he'd moved around frequently. They didn't have success finding him, so they returned to Baja California. And as they're getting ready to book this flight, an informant tips him that Guzman was at the airport parking lot waiting for a flight to Puerto Vallarta. And so they spot this white Mercury Grand Marquis that they think Guzman is hiding in. And so 20 gunmen pull up in Jeeps, jump out, and just unload on this car and just light this fucker up.
Thinking they got
they got their man, right? Well, the drug lord was inside actually a green Buick sedan a short distance away.
Oh.
Yeah, so they got the wrong dude. And no big deal, probably another piece of shit in that white car, right?
Right.
Well, inside the Mercury Grand Marquis was the Cardinal and Archbishop of Guadalajara.
Damn.
Who took 14 rounds. He died at the scene from 14 gunshots. 6 other people, including the Cardinal's chauffeur, were caught in the crossfire. They were all killed. And so that gets the government involved then. You start killing the Archbishop of...
Yeah, that's like a high-ranking Catholic official, a cardinal. That's no joke. That's no low-level priest. That's like a super priest.
Super priest? They make super priests?
I think so.
So the government responded by carrying out a massive manhunt to arrest people involved in the shootout. They were offering $55 million or $5 million bounties for each person involved. Pictures of Guzman's face are posted everywhere. So he flees to Mexico City, stayed at a hotel for 10 days. He met with one of his associates in an unknown location, handed him $200 million.
What?
$200 million.
Handed him $200 million.
To provide for his family in case of his absence. He gave the same amount to another of his employees to make sure the Sinaloa cartel ran its day-to-day activities smoothly in case he was gone for some time. $400 million. Yeah. He was arrested at a hotel in June of 93. That's when he was sent to the La Palma, which is this max security prison. His Sinaloa cartel at the time of his arrest was the wealthiest, most powerful of Mexico's drug cartels. It smuggled multi-ton cocaine shipments from Colombia through Mexico to the United States by air, sea, and road. Holy shit. They had distribution cells throughout the U.S. The organization's also been involved in the production, smuggling, and distribution of meth, marijuana, heroin from Southeast Asia. His drug empire made him a billionaire. He was ranked the 10th richest man in Mexico. They said Guzman has been referred to as the biggest drug lord of all time. The DEA considers him the godfather of the drug world and strongly believes he surpassed the influence and reach of Pablo Escobar.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2013, the Chicago Crime Commission named Guzman public enemy number 1 due to the influence of his criminal network in Chicago, even though there's no evidence he's ever stepped foot in Chicago.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
Do you know what I just thought of when you said Pablo Escobar?
What?
Hippos.
Did you?
Yeah. Remember that story about his
absolutely.
hippos?
Yes.
And they're running rampant all over the place.
Yeah. I know how those sons of bitches are doing.
Yeah. Remember people were shooting them and eating them?
Yeah, they're probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's been solved by now.
The last person to get to receive such notoriety was Al Capone in 1930. At the time of his 2014 arrest, he had imported more drugs in the United States than any person on the planet. Isn't that nuts? So he's in prison. His drug empire and cartel continue to operate unabated. Run by his brother, El Pollo. Everybody knows El Pollo.
What's that mean?
The chicken? Isn't Pollo chicken?
Yes. Pollo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm the chicken. He's
You
the
only know
shorty.
that because you've ordered shit at Qdoba, right?
No. I know what pollo means. Pollo.
Admit it. You learned that at a Mexican restaurant.
I think
Admit it.
I think I know what I think of when I think of pollo. I think of Breaking Bad. Wasn't that the one drug cartel used pollo chicken or something?
It was the restaurant. Yeah,
the restaurant.
Hermanos Pollo.
Hermanos Pollo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have cable. So
Yeah. Well, you should get
Actually,
it
while
someday. It's a
Breaking
great
Bad was
show.
going on, you probably did have cable through a lot of it.
That's true.
for the record.
On the record.
So this Guzman, by the way, in prison is still considered a major international drug trafficker by Mexico and the U.S., even while behind
Isn't that
bars.
something? It's just a little hiccup. The fact that he's in max security. Little hiccup to the business.
Well, while in prison, associates brought him suitcases of cash to bribe prison workers. In prison.
Well, when you have suitcases of cash, you can
What
get a
a-
lot done, can't you? I mean,
Incredibly crooked. Just the whole country, right?
I
Can
know.
be bought. It's
It's-
just nuts.
They would bring him suitcases of cash in to bribe prison workers and allow him to maintain his opulent lifestyle even in prison. This son of a bitch, they had guards acting as servants. He met his longtime mistress and later Sinaloa associate, former police officer Zulema
how romantic, Jay.
Hernandez.
His
Met
long-
her in prison.
Just banging her.
His
Yep.
longtime mistress, Jay. How romantic.
So she was serving a little bit of time for armed robbery, and they fell in
Oh,
love.
wow.
It's a romance piece.
Man, I
Wow.
thought Sweat and Horstick had it good. This guy
Yeah.
living like a king.
Oh, absolutely. She was later found, by the way, in a trunk with a bunch of Z's carved in her body. That's
Whatever.
courtesy of the Los Zetos gang, of course, a rival gang. So while still in prison, he was indicted in San Diego on money laundering, importing tons of cocaine into California, along with his Sinaloa attorney, Humberto Loya Castro, who was charged with bribing Mexican officials on their behalf and making sure that any cartel members arrested were released from custody immediately. God, I love this country. That's
so
awesome.
crooked.
Yeah. Guzman bribed guards to aid his escape back in 2001. A prison guard opened Guzman's electronically operated cell door. He got into that laundry cart, and a maintenance worker, Javier Camberos, rolled through several doors, eventually out the front door. He was then transported in the trunk of a car driven by Camberos out of town. The police say he carefully masterminded his plan, wielding influence over almost everyone in the prison, including the facility's director, who is now in prison for aiding in the escape. So you're right. Everybody was for sale. One prison guard who came forward to report the situation, like there's some wrongdoing going on, Ming. Yeah, he was found dead.
Sure.
Of course he was killed.
Why would you ever speak in any negative light towards any?
Well, yeah, the whole system is set up to shut the hell up and take money.
Right.
And just be done with it.
Just don't even. Yeah.
They said Guzman allegedly had police guards on his payroll in the prison, smuggled contraband into the prison, received preferential treatment from everybody. Police in Jalisco, where he was going to head to, another city, were paid off to ensure he had at least 24 hours to get out of the state and stay ahead of the military manhunt. Guards they were bribed not to search the laundry cart. They said they were smuggling gold out or something, so they were bribed off that. Like everybody, top to bottom, was bribed to pay this shit off.
Well, it's surprising that the president escaped. That they had to go through the trouble of digging this mile-long tunnel.
Why is it?
It's like you can just walk out the front door with enough bribe money.
Yeah, well, the U.S. has really wanted this guy for a long time, and there's former FBI directors who are like, we tried to get involved with this in trying to capture. I mean, he was on the run for 13 years, and he had dozens of homes all over, and and they were like, no, thank you, Los Estados Unidos, they don't need your help. They didn't want anything to do with us. They were basically like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. What are you going to do? And the U.S. is like, dude, seriously, you need our help. They did not want. They were like, we don't want no U.S. officials in a country with guns, man. And they're like, you're worried about us with guns,
right?
Seriously, they're shipping like their enemies' heads back to each other in boxes.
Yeah.
You know,
it just shows you that the bribery goes to the highest levels. Because why wouldn't you, if you're them, realizing that if you have the best interest of your country in mind, you're like, yeah, Estados Unidos, take them away, do what you will with them, get him out of here, because he's gonna get out, and people are gonna be paid off and shit. But it just shows you that even up the ranks with where our government is speaking with, they're probably paid off to,
who knows,
to throw up red tape and
maybe. Yeah, it sounds, U.S. officials are now saying that this is a major embarrassment for Mexico because they acted like this is unbreakable prison, man. Yeah. And everything's breakable if it can be bought. Well, like, it might be an unbreakable prison, but there's no way you could build a tunnel system like that without people knowing or being like, you just
what does that mean? An embarrassment to Mexico?
I know at this point, yeah. Well, because they were saying that
they have any pride left, that government, and
well, the U.S. had wanted this guy in a U.S. federal prison. They wanted to take this guy and put him in a U.S. federal spot and keep him housed here. And Mexico was thinking like, this is like a trophy prisoner from Mexico, and so they were like, no, man, you don't get him. He's ours. And so, but U.S. officials knew, like, dude.
Yeah. See, my point is, it's probably not a statement of pride. Oh, we got this one, but more a statement of, we're being paid off to keep them over here so that things can keep running like they run.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah. And it sounds like these guys, it sounds like Goodfellas almost, where Paulie and those guys are in prison cutting up fucking onions for their, slicing shit up. They got this giant cell. It sounds like this dude was running anything he wanted. Imagine that, bringing briefcases of money into the prison so you can pay off guards.
Yeah. Guards are like your servants.
Yeah. God. I mean, what a life, but $1 billion, you know how much trouble you could get in with $1 billion?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm telling you, it's not worth it, dude. Think about that life that you have to live, knowing you're going to get a bullet in the head at some point from your buddy.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Are you rooting for him a little bit?
No, he's had his run, man.
We tried. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why I root for these guys on the run. It just seems like it'll make a great movie. That story right there will make a great movie one day.
Well, do you remember Victory? That movie Victory with Stallone? It was a soccer movie.
No.
Jesus Christ!
You guys have never seen Victory. Michael Caine, Stallone.
No. When was this? 80s?
They're 90s? Prisoners of war in a Nazi camp, and they're a bunch of allies who have been caught. So Stallone's an American, Caine is a Brit, and there's all kinds of guys in this camp, and just to pass the time they play soccer, and they get pretty good, and there's an escape that's planned, and the way they plan it is they're gonna challenge the German national team to a game.
God.
Wait, winner gets to go?
No, so they bus them all to France, and they play in France, and at halftime, Pele's in this movie.
Really?
At halftime, the French like dig this tunnel underneath their freaking locker room. No, they've been doing it for whatever. Oh. They dig a tunnel and they come up through this tub. And so they're all gathered at halftime, and they're
like
ready.
A bathtub,
and
which is how Guzman got out.
Exactly. That's why it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to leave at halftime, and they all look at each other and they go, "We could win this game."
No,
we could win this game.
And they don't
so
come back.
They have to talk Stallone into going back on the field. He's like, "Fuck that, man! I'm out of here." And they're like, "Come on, Hatch, we can do it." We can do it.
Who cares if they win the game?
So they went out and I think they officially tied it. But they got a bullshit goal called back, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
If I remember that match.
So did they not get away then? Did they? Then they did.
Then the crowd stormed the field in like victory celebration, and they all made out in the crowd. They all got away by just dispersing with the crowd.
What?
People were giving them clothes and stuff. They were taking their jerseys off and shit. I can't believe nobody's seen this.
I can't believe anyone's seen it.
You son of a bitch. This is classic 80s stuff, man. Look at Stallone playing goalkeeper.
The idea that Stallone is this goaltender.
Yeah, it was awful.
Rocky. Adrian.
But that was the whole thing. He just gets thrown in this camp, and he's never played soccer, football.
So and now
so they're just like, dude,
goaltending against the national team.
Yeah, so they had to like teach him how to even be a serviceable goalkeeper.
Everything was.
Did you buy him in the role?
But that's I bet you that's where Chapo got his idea. Victory.
Maybe.
Yeah, come up through the sewer system.
Yeah, right under a bathtub. That's how he got away. That the one time they said that when they were onto him, he got an 8-minute head start when the feds stormed that apartment or house, that safe house.
Could you imagine?
And he went under the bathtub,
dude. Like even when we say 8 minutes, like it'd be like just 8 minutes go, Jay. Like boom, and after that, dude.
It's on.
Right. I mean, it's on.
And if you think about something like that, if you lifted up a bathtub and went down there into a tunnel and got an 8-minute head start, and the bathtub was back down, it might be a week before they figure out that.
True.
That's how you got out. It's not like you're going to leave a window open.
Right.
He went out the back.
Right.
Oh, he went under the floor. Yeah, it's crazy.
I have an additional piece to the story that you missed in your research.
Oh,
he allegedly has a daughter. Eric,
Ooh,
you need to see this.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. Well. Well, changes everything.
I have an opinion.
I know you do.
What's your opinion?
I'm not liking that picture on the right. I'll tell you that much. She looks mannequin-like in the one in the middle.
She does.
A little lifeless.
I kind of like the lips.
Pretty eyes, right, Mike?
She's got beautiful eyes. Gorgeous.
I think she's good looking.
Giselle Guzman.
Ooh, I like that name too.
Del Chapo Guzman.
Dude, don't mess with El Chapo's daughter.
Yeah, that would not
don't
be
even think about it.
Dude,
especially when he's out.
For her, that's got to be a rough situation for her, dude, because what
guy in their right mind?
Right. You would have to she'd have to just be almost raping guys.
Yeah.
So to speak, because like I could see just every guy kind of be like, whoa, no, thank you. No bien.
And isn't she a huge target too, right? Your whole family is.
Oh, yeah.
Just think about that. If the rival cartel got a hold of her, wow, what a statement that would make.
Oh, right. That's a good point. Too.
Rape her up and down, crucify her, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know why. Just the term raper up and down. I don't know why that sounds funny to me.
Hey, we talked about it last week. Would you rather be raped up or down, right?
I don't remember.
There's a right answer to that. What are you talking about?
I don't remember the talk.
Would you rather have it anal or oral?
Oh, dude, who sent me a message, by the way, and I totally agreed on it. That they were like, someone sent me a message
into the mic
saying how ridiculous what you said was.
Oh no, I'm right on that. I'm right on that.
No, who sent it, dude? Fuck. It was to support me about wanting oral over anal.
And what was
He's on record. He wants oral over anal.
I think this is fuck. I can't remember.
He's a big fan of oral.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it, but I'm saying I would take I would rather
You'd rather what?
Suck a guy off than get anally. Where is it? God damn it!
Let's all wait while
I know. Well, no,
Facebook.
do whatever, and I'll find it.
What was the premise? Can you paraphrase?
Well, he was just saying what he said was, "Oh, Jay thinks that it would be better to take it because of the dick," and he said, "Like, well, I'll get a few 12-inch dongers and put one in his butt and one in his mouth and see which one he."
That totally misses the whole point of having a human penis thrust at your face. Okay, I don't know how you ladies do this, right?
I don't either.
You've got a human male penis.
I've actually said that to Beth. I can't even take you seriously. You put a penis in your mouth. I'm not even going to have this conversation with you.
You've got a penis being thrust at your face, and you've got to do a job. Then at that point, like my whole point is, if you've got to go through this, wouldn't you rather just roll over into the fetal position and just
no?
Here's what it says. In regards to the convo about close...
Okay, he loses all credibility if he said in regards to.
Okay,
there's no S on regard.
Okay, whatever. To the convo between a blowjob and an anal, I propose this to Jay. Here's what we will do. I'm gonna get a couple of big fucking dildos.
Yeah, I just covered this.
I know,
This
I'm
isn't
gonna
the same thing.
okay,
It's not apples to oranges.
I think it is.
No, it's
Apples,
not.
oranges.
The whole thing is you've got a human dude, stinky ass dick going flying at your face, and you've got to get that thing off.
What if it's well trimmed?
You've got balls underneath it, knocking you in the chin. I'm not going through this again.
Okay,
Why are you
well,
making me do this again?
I stand.
He
by
brought it up. I wasn't going there.
I stand.
All right,
I
I'm going to
stand-
change the subject. What's up with the shorts, dude? I've never seen my man show up here in shorts.
I came straight from the lake or whatever.
Oh, sounds like fun. I wish I was invited.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll text you next
straight
time.
from the Jelski.
Yeah, straight from the Lake Jelski, and these are like a hybrid bathing suit. These are technically like a bathing suit, but they're hybrid.
So you're not wearing underwear.
No, I'm wearing boxers underneath them.
Oh, okay.
Actually, but the niceness of them is that you can you can wear them in the water, but they dry a lot faster just because of the material. So you can wear them as shorts / a bathing suit.
Yeah, I think
So,
most of us are familiar with the material.
okay.
It's
well,
just weird to see you in shorts,
I know,
man.
I know.
Really weird.
I know.
Plus, I don't know, that stylish short, I just don't see him in.
I bought these very specifically for Vegas because when you go to Vegas and you go to those day parties, especially like these days,
You got to look sweet like you do right now.
you can't wear like the bathing suits that you wore when you went on family vacations. You have to wear. They have like dress codes at the pool parties even. Where
Stand
they
up.
have,
What do they look like? I don't even know what.
I love them actually.
Like, honestly, like I just don't see E
They're
picking
board
that out.
shorts.
Yeah,
They're board shorts.
yeah. They're very.
They're
comfortable.
not, dude. They're more like golf shorts they've got pockets and everything. They've
Yeah.
got back pockets.
Yeah, I've
with a
got board
button and all
shorts
that.
like
They're
that.
pretty sick.
Dude,
They're actually
those-
awesome.
Okay.
Whatever. Did you? Not that we have to, but Kadog did pull up the trailer for that movie. Do you have
For
any-
Victory?
Yeah. Do you have any interest?
Hold
in
on,
that?
let me get it. We've been talking about Jelski. I gotta say something about our friend Krista Jelski here from Remax Suburban. Are you thinking about buying or selling a home but aren't sure where to begin? Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban is more than happy to help. Set up an appointment with Krista with a K, and she will simplify the process even enough for Big E to understand. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. And here's the trailer for Victory. See, I wasn't lying about this.
It does exist.
How long will it take? Well, you must realize it's my busy time. Everybody wants to escape in the good weather.
They don't make trailers like they used to, huh?
In 1942, the Nazis thought they were sitting on top of the world, never suspecting that they could be toppled in one conflict, the most unusual battle of the war.
It has been decided that a German national team will play a combined team from the prisoners of war of the occupied territory.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay,
Sure
I'm
is.
ready to sign up.
Sign up.
And you ought to be exhibited in Paris like performing fleas. Look on me.
Get out.
A stacked game. The Third Reich's finest against a ragged bunch of
Pele.
prisoners of war. The Germans thought they had it made.
They couldn't run about for 90 minutes. They'd be chucking their guts up.
Am I good? Or am I good?
What's your name?
You know my name.
What's your name?
I decided to join the team.
The American? No.
You use that bloody American style again here and you'll be found. Like you're playing English, I play American.
Can you do with your mouth shut?
Hey, the mouth and the hand work together. It's a team.
This match is a propaganda stunt for the Germans. It's a wonderful opportunity for us. The Allied High Command called them crazy, and maybe they were.
We want you to contact the resistance for us and arrange the escape of the football team.
I don't want to thank you all for your concern, but I'm really not planning on seeing Paris until after the war. Well, I'm an orphan. I have no parents, no money. I'm not married. I don't even have a pet. And anything I might say in my sleep to the contrary can't be held against me.
We don't want to be shot as a spy, do we?
No. I don't want to be shot as anything.
Victory, starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine, Max von Sydow, and introducing Pele.
How'd you like to play football against the Germans?
Why not?
Oh, they totally took him out. It was bullshit. It was a total dirty play.
Oh, they're from the whole movie.
Yeah, really.
Now is the time for heroes.
Nice save.
Yeah, the
Victory.
bicycle kick by
You've never
Pele.
seen anything like it.
No,
John
you
Huston.
haven't seen
It's
anything
a
like
John
it.
Huston film.
Wow, dude.
I think I adequately described that. Did I
Yeah, I
not?
think you did. Yeah, that looks utterly awful. How did
It's
you?
a
did you
great
like-
movie.
Is it really?
Everything was better in the 80s. huh, Jay?
It was good in the
Yeah.
80s. when I was a little soccer fan guy,
Ooh,
That
yeah.
was the whole movie. They
basically did show the whole movie there.
Yeah, except the win and the.
Well, they didn't win. They tied.
Tied.
It was an
Yeah.
official tie, but we all know.
Thanks for ruining it. I was going to watch it.
Yeah,
Now
spoiler
it's
alert.
ruined. Yeah, you got to tell people if you're going to spoil the ends of movies, Jay. That's not nice.
Hey, let me introduce the all-new 2015 Ford Transit Connect van. Transit. This is Bob Walters.
Transit, Bob Walters.
Ford is back in the minivan business, and they're back with a vengeance. With a best-in-class fuel economy of 30 miles per gallon, the new Transit Connect van can be configured and customized more than any minivan on the market. Plus, all this comfort, convenience, and luxury can be had for only $195 per month at Zott Ford and Holly. It's time to dump that antiquated, outdated grocery getter you're driving and jump into the all-new Ford Transit Connect minivan at Zott Ford. Again, lease this sweet machine for just $195 per month for a short 24-month lease. Hurry down to Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 before the deal disappears like Big E while the king reads today's email. That's Zott Ford and Holly. They are much closer than you think.
We got a new ad campaign that this artist has started. And her name's Amy Herman. And she's launched the Underneath We Are Women campaign. She did it 6 weeks ago, and she was looking for people to submit photos to be a part of this campaign. And she's looking to highlight what everyday women of all ages, shapes, and sizes look like by photographing 100 models. Mm-hmm. Initially started as a little side project before she quickly realized the magnitude of what she was setting out to create.
This is just run-of-the-mill anybody.
Right. Anybody can be a model. I mean, everybody's technically beautiful, right?
Right.
I quickly discovered we needed lots of women to really get the point across. This isn't about promoting beauty. It's about the diversity in the physical sense, showcasing diversity in the physical sense.
Aren't some people more beautiful on the inside, though, than the outside?
I would say
heard
at
that.
least 80% of the people that I see.
Including
anyway.
Yui?
Oh, yeah. Whoa. That's a good question.
Are
ugly
you
on the
more
outside.
beautiful on the inside or the outside? There's a question. Holy shit.
Oh, God. Dude, wow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's kind of ugly in both.
I think you got to
He has
argue.
a great grill.
No,
I mean, just a
yeah.
perfect grill.
Dude, I don't think I'm good looking, but I think you'd have to argue that I'm probably better looking on the outside than the inside.
Yeah, you're pretty disgusting on the inside.
Yeah.
And the
That's
outside.
a very good
Yeah.
question.
Damn it.
I'm just hideous apparently all around. I have
Yeah.
no redeeming qualities apparently.
I'd agree with that.
So she says, I would see ads and posters of women in lingerie or underwear, and I just couldn't relate to it. We want to teach people that what we see in a magazine isn't all that's actually out there. No one said it was.
I know. You want to teach people this?
Yeah,
right?
we all
I
are
think
aware
we-
of that.
Taking a walk to, I don't know,
Anywhere,
through
ever?
Disney World, through a park, through
Yeah.
anywhere public.
Yeah. Robin Jeffrey, a mother of three, said it's been a great experience and she's been empowered by it. That's great. They've set up a crowdfunding page to help fund it, and they've raised $1,600.
Whoa.
Great. It's blown
Whoa.
up.
Wow. 1600.
Eventually, she would love to see the photos and stories in a coffee table book.
Yeah, who's gonna people? Well, there's like two things wrong with that. One, the idea of a coffee table book. You know, like come
In
on,
general.
right? Does
I
anyone
like
do that?
coffee table
Do
books.
people still do
I don't
that,
mind them
though?
I
either.
like that, man. Big,
is that
big
still a
photos,
thing, though?
big images. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're
I don't
still
know
big.
if it's a thing.
Yeah, they are. But would you want a coffee table book?
Ooh.
Well, I'm just saying.
No.
You know who she looks like? She looks like the villain in Little Mermaid, Ursula. Right?
I don't know who that is.
Yes,
Oh my god.
she does. He's
Yeah.
right. That big old octopus
Yeah,
lady.
Ursula. She's like half squid or something, half octopus.
Dude, she totally does. If you could,
Oh, she's
add
not half whale?
tentacles-
No.
Well,
You
A
said
man-
under the sea. I didn't know. I was wondering where you were going with the similarities there.
dude, if she had purple tentacles or just
Mhm.
tentacles, I guess in general.
You're right. Yeah,
oh
she does.
my god.
Yeah.
Even to the
Poor
breast.
unfortunate souls. Remember that song, right? Ian?
Yes, sir.
Are there more girls? Let's see what other models they have. Models.
Well, loosely, right?
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. Are these really what's the read the stated purpose again of this book?
To highlight what everyday women of all ages, shapes, and sizes look like by showing their beauty. So they're
Okay.
going to show that all women are beautiful. Go back to that one you just had up there.
I know where you're going. I know.
Is that a trail?
No, those are stretch marks, dude.
No.
Is that a trail? A happy trail?
Ah, dude, get up close.
Those are not stretch marks.
I don't know.
That
It
looks
could
like-
be both.
I don't think they're stretch marks, dude.
Yeah, it looks like hair and cottage cheese.
Her belly button looks like an asshole.
You're right.
There is.
I've never seen a belly button with stretch marks on it.
It looks like that looks like a dude when you have just that little.
Yeah, it looks like curds and whey with hair growing out of it.
Look, listen. I get it.
Hold on, don't go too far on this. She's not saying they're models. She's just documenting beauty. So go.
Okay.
Go, Mike.
Listen, I understand that we're in this really PC sensitive area right now. But I think we can all agree what beauty looks like. I'm not saying these women aren't beautiful to someone. They are. But that's not a head turner if you're walking down the street.
You know, this is. I got a question. This is kind of. This will sound a little bit like it's.
Sorry.
This will sound a little like it's off track, but I don't think it is in a way. So you're talking about these girls, and you say, man, we have somebody finding them beautiful. So I was bowling with Chubbs on Saturday, and there was a couple next to us, and it was 2 guys and 2 girls, and one of them was clearly better looking than the other, and I wondered to Chubbs kind of aloud.
Dude with the ugly chick wishes he was with the hot chick.
Like, do couples meet and then he goes, oh, hanging out with Dan and his girlfriend, and then he sees Dan's girlfriend, he's like, God damn it, he won.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been the one with the hot chick, so you'd have to ask the guy with me.
You know what I mean? Everybody that goes out with, anyone who listens to Jay, anytime they've ever been with Jay and his wife, he has no. But you know what I'm saying?
No, but if
I
honestly,
wonder if guys go,
if Gab fell to shit and packed on 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I know you'd keep her if she was hanging in a closet with no legs, no arms,
I
with
would,
her mouth
for the
like
record.
this and
Yep.
her vagine filled with cement.
I would.
You would still honor your commitment and you would still love her. If Gab packed on 50, 60 pounds out of nowhere for no reason, and all of a sudden you would still find her beautiful for totally different reasons.
Right.
But walking down the street, you wouldn't go, wow, holy shit, nice job, Jay. You wouldn't have that feeling, but she would still be beautiful to
so that's
someone.
that's when you say somebody finds her beautiful.
Right.
Maybe.
So I don't mean to be a dick, but if you're talking about like, there seems like this real push lately with this, I'm going to put this 300-pound woman or guy, whatever. We're seeing it with women all the time. I don't mean to bash on women, but you're seeing this push right now where it's like Tess Holliday is in stories every day where she's just hideous looking. And she's in,
I know who you're talking
she's
about,
in
yeah.
lingerie and trying to be this like, look at me, I'm just as hot. Everybody's hot. Everybody's hot. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, to someone, sure. But not everybody is hot. Not everybody belongs. I just don't get this push and why it's kind of being accepted. Like you'll see comments on this and it's like, oh my God, gorgeous, stunning.
Yeah, they're trying to do it because the other way is unattainable. Like it's only attainable by like 1% of the population. This stick thin Victoria's Secret model look,
which is why it's highlighted.
And so everybody's pissed that they can't attain that, and so it's like, all right, let's make this realistic. But what's I guess wrong with the push to change the standard of beauty? If really, I mean, our standard of beauty is just because it's been pushed. It's a standard that's been pushed. If we would have since birth been shown that picture and said that's beautiful, that's beautiful, that's beautiful, and in every TV show that's what's shown as beautiful, we'd think that's beautiful.
I don't know.
We would.
I don't know about that.
We
really?
would,
Do
dude. You
that?
go back to freaking whatever
No, you're talking-
1500s and shit.
Yeah.
When the pear shape was the ultimate.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know that will ever be.
It is a push that's happening and it's taking hold. I mean, if you look at over the last 20 years, the big ass has definitely made its mark, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to when we were in high. Are you kidding me? Anything bigger than
it seems like
a handful is ridiculous.
It's like you said a minute ago, though, that unattainable. It is attainable if you work your ass off for it.
It's not attainable for everybody.
It's not attainable for everybody, just like it's not attainable for me to look like LeBron James. That doesn't mean that anybody's going to want to watch me on a basketball court.
Well,
I can work as hard as I want. I'm never going to be able to attain that. It just, but that doesn't make it wrong that people wouldn't want to watch me on a basketball court. It shouldn't be pushed like everybody should be accepted as a blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, there's a reason that these people, first off, it sells. There's a reason that those models make the money they make to do what they do, because it is something you don't see every day. It is something that's beautiful. You're going to sell more vodka with a Bugatti than you are an escort.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it is. So I don't understand, like, pushing, like, the escort's a beautiful car too. It should get it. It's like, well, is it? It drives and somebody loves that escort, but
I loved escorts back in the day.
Yeah,
for the record.
You did.
Yeah.
So did I. We've all been there. I don't mean to be a dick, but it just seems like,
well, I think physical beauty, though, like acceptance for who you are just out in society and not being trampled on for the way you look is different than like acceptance as for athleticism. Like, yeah, agreed. We're never going to attain that athleticism that a LeBron or anybody even close to being a pro could. I mean, it's just, that's unattainable, but you should be able to walk around and feel good about yourself in terms of how you look. If you're not that standard of 1% Victoria's Secret model. And so I think like beauty is different than the examples you used, in that it should be a broader spectrum. And it is. I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder, as they say.
Sure.
Righty?
Yes, Jay.
So I don't know. I don't have that big a problem with people saying, hey, that beauty can be different sizes or different shapes, whatever. But I agree with you. If it's like this push, like brainwash, that bothers me.
And that really bothers me, because you see it changing people's opinion, but I don't think it really changes their opinion. I think people are scared to death to say something that's not politically correct.
Yeah.
And so overnight, do you really think everybody's opinion on what's beautiful has changed? No, but you see it in comment sections where all of a sudden it's like, this is gorgeous. Oh my God. And it, I guess
I do. I believe some people are saying that because it is like, look, I'm looking at myself, like, I can't attain that Victoria's Secret. So yeah, this woman stepping out and doing that. Okay. I can call that beautiful, because let's look at it as more of a spectrum and not this unattainable thing. I think some women really do say that, like, with sincerity.
Yeah.
I don't think they're just trying to be PC or falling into that.
Yeah. Well,
chicks are different though. A chick commenting versus a dude commenting, that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like dudes probably aren't going to be able to honestly say that they find, there is a small percentage where, they're into the chubby chasing or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But chicks are more apt to be, well, there's the catty section, but then there's the section too that go, you know what, good for her. You go, girl.
Yeah.
That sort of attitude.
Yeah. I wonder, because we'll start seeing this more on runways and in magazines. And I wonder what it'll do for sales of things, because that's really the point.
Well, if the point is to put clothes out there that look good on what real people are walking around, then they ought to have people that look real up on the runway. If that's the point.
I'll say this. Now, we don't need it because of internet porn now, but growing up, I'm glad that this wasn't in the Victoria's Secret models that I was getting for obvious reasons.
That's because that's what you've been told, and that's what we've all been told over and over and over since birth, and for hundreds of years prior. This is the standard. I'm telling you, if we were told something totally opposite.
Well, of course, dude. It's just like you say with your kid. If you tell them from birth that it's the glow box and not the TV, he calls it the glow box. For a while. Or that's why I use that as an example. Yeah. But so of course.
So Jay finds that hot.
Yeah, apparently.
That's good.
That's what you got out of that conversation.
That's all I got.
Who knew?
Right. Wow, Jay. Well, at least me and Jay wouldn't be going after the same women if he was ever single again.
We're not going to be fighting in the bars over chicks, huh?
If he was ever single again.
I like cottage cheese and pubes.
Yeah, no, it's I think that's my biggest problem too, is the push. I think that's where I fall off. Like, I don't have a problem if you get the latest Sears catalog and they've got a section of women modeling stuff that would look right on normal people, because let's be honest, 80% of the people walking around look like that.
Yeah. But then you contrast that with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, and that's bullshit that they throw this plus size model in this year and go, this is beautiful. This is just no, that is selling something. That's selling the ideal.
Yeah.
And guys are buying that to see that ideal.
Yeah.
So I disagree with that push. Like that's not the forum to push that into.
Yeah. Do you think that would sell a lot of copies of a coffee table book?
I don't know, man. No, but not to dudes like looking for hot chicks, but I guess it'd maybe be interesting to see.
Yeah. For the goof factor, I'm being totally serious.
Yeah.
Would it be the goof factor that would be involved? And why do they always have to put these women in lingerie? As if
that's the ultimate in confidence, right? She's showing that she's confident and beautiful.
Yeah.
So that would be, I guess, the interesting thing is you flip through like, wow, she's got the balls to put that on, you know?
Yeah.
Good for her, I guess.
Wow.
Not good for you, huh, Mike?
No, not good for me, but good for her.
Yeah.
What do you think, E?
God, some crazy veiny shit happens, doesn't it? When you stretch stuff out.
Yeah.
When you put too much meat inside those sausages.
Yeah. Everything from here down.
It's gone to shit.
No good.
Crashed and burned.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take a porn.
It looks like if you poked a pin in that, it would explode.
Yeah, it looks pretty tenuous. Everything is stretched in a tenuous manner.
It does look like a sausage with that wrap on it.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's squeezed, really. You know,
it doesn't even seem like it would be comfortable.
Looks like it would hurt your skin.
Yeah.
It's like being stretched.
And that thong looks like it's screaming for mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was kind of talking about. I didn't even think about the top. The bottom just looks like
the corset.
Screaming for mercy. It's just lost in there. I mean, it's just
would you want to see
screaming for help?
Mike, would you want to see the
sending out an SOS?
The back version of that?
No, thanks. Thank you for offering, but no, I'll pass it. Jay would.
I would not.
Jay apparently would love to see that.
Thank you. If I were told that was beautiful since day one, I would.
You would.
Well, you're right. If we just said it,
it's all a standard, and so that's the thing. It's like people are trying to get everybody's head around. Like, why is that the standard? Why can't we look down the spectrum a little bit?
Yeah.
I wonder though. Would you really get the same hard on? I wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
if you were told that was it,
I wonder if you would. I don't know. My dick seems to react. My dick knows what it likes. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that.
And it's a hairy dude's ass.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, dude. That's interesting because my first foray into porn was Big Black Beautiful Women 4. Remember that?
Yes.
When we bribed that guy going into the store, we gave him a bunch of money and said, buy us a porn.
And you still didn't find that.
Big Black Mama's 4. Big Black Mama's 4. He came out with it in a brown paper bag and gave us a videotape of Big Black Mama's 4. And it was like horrifying.
Yeah.
We hadn't been conditioned to know what beauty was at that point.
Of course you had.
Not really, but
yeah, you had. You'd been watching Charlie's Angels and Daisy Duke and all that shit.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point, I guess.
You had been.
I still think that my dick would
dude. I don't know if I buy that. If the magazines I grew up looking at had that in it, that I'd be all of a sudden hard for that.
If day one everything that hit you was that, you would. Everything. If that was the TV, if that was the magazine, if that's what your friends said, if you would.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I like to think that my dick would never be that dumb. Like, I don't know.
I guarantee your dick is dumb, and it would be that dumb. It's probably just as gullible as you.
This is what I look now.
Anyway, how we doing on time, Kadog? Where are we at? Oh boy.
Ooh, we're due for a break.
Well, we sure
no wonder I have to piss.
Yeah,
my thoughts were starting to get uncollected.
Yeah, let's collect those. Take a short break.
We'll come back and we'll talk about an unarmed man who died.
Uh-oh.
We'll talk about Michael Brown Sr. being in town and the new gallery opening over the weekend in Chicago.
You went to the DIA recently, didn't you?
I did.
We need to mention that.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your did you see Frida and Diego?
Frida sucked.
Dude, she's gross, isn't she?
She's gross and she sucked as an artist. I'm sorry. Frida sucked as an artist.
Unibrow is just
brutal. She's more into Frida than anything. Everything she did was a self-portrait.
What a bitch.
Everything she did was a self-portrait. oh, I had trouble with my birth and the kid ended up dying, and so now I'm going to do artwork of me laying in bed with blood everywhere, and everything's about this and that.
Selfish bitch.
Totally selfish. Totally. Every image is a self-portrait. It was,
God, what a selfie whore.
Yeah, she was. It was a pre-selfie generation selfie whore. Anyway, we'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford in Holly. Summer's in full swing, and so are the incredible deals at Zott Ford. Right now, you can lease the amazingly fuel-efficient 2015 Ford Focus at only $148 a month for 24 short months. Or if you're looking for something a little larger and with a touch more luxury, come lease the 2016 Ford Fusion for just $158 for only 24 months. Friends, if you've been shopping around, you already know these are incredible deals. And much like our Michigan summers, they won't last for long. So hurry into Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 to take advantage of a Focus for just $148 or a Fusion for $158 right now. And if you mention the Proops sent you, we'll throw in an autographed TDC shirt and hat. Check out our zany deals and our massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Alrighty. Welcome back to a Monday edition of the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay. And I don't know if there will be outrage coming from this story. It's happened over the weekend, but we got another unarmed black man ends up dead in police custody.
Pepper spray.
Yeah, pepper spray. Who knew? This is in Alabama. It happened on Friday night. Anthony Ware, who's 35, was pepper sprayed by Tuscaloosa police after resisting arrest. Of course, he was not shot or tased during the incident, according to police. None of the six
least
officers.
invasive means that you could use, right? Pepper spray.
Yeah.
Other than just cuffing and stuffing.
Yeah, and I suppose you could say then, I mean, if someone has a heart attack when it happens,
yeah,
the stress of the incident, I don't know. None of the officers, there were 6 of them involved, have been put on leave at this point. So cops got a call that Ware, who was wanted for attempting to elude police, was at this apartment with a gun. So that's the call that the police get. When they arrived, the suspect fled to a nearby wooded area where police said he resisted arrest. I'm sure that'll come into question, as always, because nobody ever resists arrest, according to some people. Police used pepper spray in an effort to subdue him before he was handcuffed while they were walking out of the woods, where collapsed. They performed CPR on him. The cops did. He was having trouble breathing while he was coming out of the woods, I guess. And so they did CPR, called for medical help. He was not found in possession of a weapon. He did however, have a warrant out for his arrest for domestic violence on a strangulation charge.
Oh,
so he was choking a bitch.
And shit.
Yeah, and there he is. I don't know what the officer's race is or what. Of course, he's a black man.
Be hearing more about this one, eh?
Yeah, and the only reason I say, of course, is because it's made headlines.
Mm-hmm.
This is not anytime someone gets arrested or there's a complication with arrest. It's just not newsworthy if it's a white guy. So yeah, I don't know pepper spray. I don't know how that works. I imagine if you breathed it in.
Have you ever been around pepper spray? I've not.
No,
not even from a distance. I know, being up in state, you'd think I would have, right?
Yeah. I never did it, but I did have in the filming days, I did have our friends that got pepper spray pretty hardcore at times. And like
brutal.
You can, even from like, depending on how strong it is, like you can definitely even just standing a few feet away.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like we had.
Can we pepper spray you?
No.
Why?
I don't do that shit anymore.
I mean, not that we need to ask. We could just literally pepper spray.
All these rules now. No electricity. No, I'm not going to shit my pants.
Yeah.
There's all this no pepper spray.
It's very
negative.
That
was back in my day, man. And even back then, I never did that stuff on the show. Or the films that we did. I always did just eating gross stuff or getting kind of pranky stuff. Like I'll eat. You want to bring some fucking horse shit in here? I'll eat some horse shit. Like
good. Dog. Can we get some horse shit?
Dog's probably got the best direct route to horse shit.
Probably, I would guess. You're right.
Is
it specifically horse shit? Are you partial to horse shit? Does it matter if it's rabbit or proop shit? I could get some proop shit.
I've got to make sure that it health wise, I guess it's okay at this point.
Wait, what? What is this?
Steve, that's a question Steve has never asked.
No, you're right. I would eat whatever. You're right. I could eat some proop shit, I suppose.
Okay. We can do that. We could run out back real quick.
Not right. Damn it.
You like honey, don't you? We could grab part of that bee's nest.
Yeah, would you eat a bee's nest?
A little honeycomb.
Honeycomb's delicious.
I remember
one of my favorite cereals growing up. Yeah.
Speaking of, I will say I remember a time.
They still make honeycomb?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Post makes
remember
it.
how you had to
delicious.
get it? I did not like it when it was so crunchy. You had to get it sort of soggy.
Oh, I love
your
crunchy.
mouth, man.
Oh, I love it crunchy.
Oh, your poor mouth.
Cap'n Crunch was like that. Cap'n Crunch would tear the roof of your mouth up.
Thinking back to it, I probably terrified some people at this one point because this wasn't like when I was at Burley and we had cameras going. I remember camping at like Proud Lake Rec or something, or Highland Lake Rec. One of those just ones in the middle of the week. There was literally nobody else. There was like me, a few buddies, and there happened to be another couple. They were there. It was like in the whole fucking thing. And for some reason, I got drunk and started like, this was in the heyday of the filming.
What did you do to them, you son of a bitch?
Well, no, it was in the heyday of the filming. So I was always willing to show off this idea of being stupid. So like we were having a few beers with them, and all of a sudden I decided I was going to show off to them by eating a horse turd in front of them. And thinking back to it now, my God, what they thought about it. Like, they were probably just this couple, you know, let's go camping together in the middle of the week. And all of a sudden, some fucking 23-year-old kid just drunk's like, I'll eat horse shit. I'll do it. And I did. I ate a horse shit in front of these guys. Like, I wonder.
I just shook their heads all the way home.
Like,
Holy cow.
Wow. They probably, I always imagine they probably woke up the next day probably more like going like, did that really happen?
They've been telling that story for years.
Right. Like, one day
they got a great story out of it.
Right. We were at this campground one
They're
night.
just mongoloid, and he picked up a horse patty and he ate it.
I don't know where his handlers were, but this retard just walked up and started eating horse shit. I don't know.
And
who left him alone? He wasn't wearing a helmet.
Right.
I don't know. We were scared. We didn't know what to do.
And that's the thing. In my mind, some of my favorite parts of that is that you're right. There is a couple out there at one point that if they sit around at one point and go, oh, what the crazy is that? Like, well, one day we were camping and this dude just walked up and started eating horse shit in front of us.
You really should be tethered to an adult at all times.
I know.
When you're out.
It's insane.
You know, they make those wrist tethers that you could put on sweet pie and
little backpack tether.
Yeah.
Put a little monkey backpack back on him.
I know.
Cord.
It's yeah, you're right.
34 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
I wasn't 34 at the time when I was doing this.
I don't know how we got there from a man.
I'm sorry.
But, pepper spray.
Pepper spray. That's
right.
Yeah. Eric Garner. Remember our friend Eric Garner?
Yes. Choked. He could not breath.
Yeah. That's the basis for the I can't breath, because all the signs, of course, he declared he couldn't breathe. But everybody that memorialized him had signs that read "I can't breath."
Yeah,
and so that's why we ran with that.
Spell check doesn't work on poster board.
Right. Well, breath is actually a word, and
so it might work.
Even if they spell checked it, you spelled breath right. So, the family of Eric Garner, they're still waiting. It's been almost a year now since he was choked in New York City, and they're hoping that they'll put that 43-year-old cop on trial, but he has come out and said he cannot wait to get back on the job. He's got some making up to do. You know, he's been dying to get back on the streets. He's been stripped of his gun. He's been receiving death threats. Daniel Pantaleo, so it was, but he still wants to work for New York City Police Department, according to his lawyer. Garner's widow is enraged that there's even a possibility this dude could get his job back. I think if he's shown it, he should be thrown in a cell with Big Bubba and nobody watch him.
Ooh,
that's nice. So she's advocating rape. That's nice.
Yeah,
That was Saw Garner, the wife. Garner's mom, Gwen Carr, said that the fact that this guy is walking free haunts her. There's no justice because Eric is not here. He can't get justice. The only thing I can get is closure for him. Of course, in December, a grand jury decided not to indict him. Since then, relatives and supporters have pushed for news from the Justice Department investigation. With the ongoing investigation, he remains on desk duty. They have to prove my client had a specific intent to deprive Eric Garner of a federally protected constitutional right. Based on all the pertinent information I have, they don't reach that threshold in this case. So anyway, the family's all bummed out and they're still pissed, but since his death, it was also revealed that Garner had a 1-year-old stepdaughter, or I'm sorry, 1-year-old daughter with a girlfriend.
Oh man, you got
what is that, like 7 kids?
7 kids, grandkids, and a 1-year-old.
What do you think the baby's name is?
Oh boy,
Legacy.
I was gonna say Cheryl.
Legacy.
Wow.
Yeah, Karen.
Cheryl. Becky.
Right. Like you to meet Lisa, little Lisa.
Becky, look at her butt.
She could get this could be a windfall for her because of course the family's filing suits, wrongful death suits.
Yep.
The video is still painful for them to watch. It's like me having to see him die over and over again. It's horrible. They treated him like an animal. They wanted to kill him. It's a modern day lynching. I don't know if that's what I got out of that video.
It would be awful to watch that if you're a family member. For
sure would. Yep. You're right. His mom believes that he was killed strictly because of the color of his skin. I always say if Eric Garner was white and in the suburbs doing the exact same thing my son was doing, this never would have happened. Being who he was, they felt like he was a nobody. I would argue that nobody would be selling loose cigarettes in the suburbs.
I have never, no offense, but I have never had anybody try to sell me loosies as I'm walking to the fucking White Lake Rite Aid.
There does need to be a market, right?
There does need to be a market.
So you go where the market is.
Looking to spend a quarter for one smoke. I mean, anyone in the suburbs who wants to smoke will just go buy a pack of smokes.
Or bum a smoke. You just bum a smoke. You
Yeah.
see somebody go, can I mean, I don't smoke, but I see people, hey, can I bum a smoke?
Dude, in the city, if you go downtown Detroit, you can't walk a block without 3 people asking you for a cigarette. Oh man, if they even see you pull one out, it's over.
I was gonna say you must be referring to when you were
mode.
smoking, because I've never had anyone ask, but it must be.
Oh yeah, no. When I smoked, if you walked out and pulled a cigarette out, you'd literally have 3 people come out of the woodwork going, "Oh man, can I bum a smoke from you?" You're like, Jesus, dude, really? I'd rather give someone $5 to go buy their own pack than take one of mine. I'm serious,
right? Because then you have to go buy another pack yourself after you lend enough out. So you'd rather just
Wait, let's think of the economics about that. Really, E? Do you support that? Giving them $5 instead of one cigarette?
I'm not saying I do. I'm saying I.
Do you really?
Well, they would. Here's what they would do. They would come up and they would try to do like it was a Lucy and go, "I'll give you $1 for a cigarette." They'd be like, "I'll give you $2 to go away." Like, no, I don't want to give you
2 2s and a 1.
2 2s and a 1, okay.
I'll give you 2 2s and a 1.
And then I find myself pulling money out of my pocket, like just go away, dude. Here, you're halfway there to a pack of smokes.
No, I know what you're saying. You're trying to trick me up with this idea.
I'm not trying to trick you up. You just agreed with him that it made sense to give a guy $5 instead of a loose cigarette.
I could see going.
You just were like, yeah, totally. That's totally the way to go.
Here's the reason why. If I were a smoker, I could see the pain of like, what if I'm down to 3 cigarettes and I know it's the early night and I don't want to pay $9 packs that are packing at the casino. Maybe like at the casino they'll sell them for $9.
That's a valid point.
So
yeah, and
I'm not sure that was the scenario that was presented.
Okay, well,
now that you get to that specific scenario,
the way it usually played out too was now you got to stop. You're usually on your way somewhere. If you're downtown Detroit, you're going somewhere. You want to get off the streets ASAP. Especially 10 years ago, and so you'd pull one out, and then of course they need a light too. And so then you're fishing out a lighter for him, and then you're probably going to be going. It's going to be like, man, you ain't gonna believe this, man, but someone stole my car. I'm looking for a couple bucks to get a bus ride back, and you're just like, Jesus Christ! It would have been easier to just go, here's $3, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's where you go. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
but I totally don't.
Yeah, you would do that. Me, I don't like the confrontation.
How about you give me those Oakley sunglasses?
You remember that story? How about this? You give me your Oakleys, and when you get that money back, you send it to me, and I'll send you the Oakleys. Huh?
Have you guys noticed this? When I was out in my travels the last couple days.
When was that?
The last couple days.
Oh, okay.
I was going. Actually, Jay, I was meeting
what are
you.
Travels.
I was meeting Jay.
Well,
Jay and I had a meeting.
story, and you'll find out.
Okay.
Jay and I had a meeting on Friday, and I was driving.
Did we?
Yeah.
Huh.
We had lunch on Friday.
I remember that you did because I remember you talking about meeting. I wasn't even there.
Why can't I
we
think
met
of that?
Sarsfield.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I was driving, and I got to like Woodward and 13, and there's a dude standing on the corner with a sign.
Dude.
Oh boy.
And
saw one at Square Lake and Woodward today.
Yeah. But he didn't like, usually when you see quote unquote homeless guy begging for change,
he looks quite homeless.
He looks very homeless.
Yeah.
This looked like
this is
an
like a
entrepreneur.
part-time job. Right.
Yes. This guy was, and it's always, 2 kids looking to feed my family.
Blah, blah, blah.
But it's like, boy, those look like some nice shorts. Looks like you had a shower an hour ago.
That's where you pull the Oakley move right there, dude.
Yeah.
That's where you pull it.
Well, what did the sign say? Do you remember? I mean, was it pretending
it's always a
that
veteran, right?
No, this guy was 2 kids, just trying to feed my family or something, willing to work, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't mention the meth habit.
Right. No, not at all. But it just seemed like he didn't look like someone who was incapable of doing something or unhireable.
Like walk across kitty corner, there's a McDonald's, right? Go apply.
And then when I was going, I went and visited my parents over the weekend too, and they're in Brighton, the Brighton area. And I pull off the freeway, and there's 2 guys in their 20s.
Yeah, just shameless.
In their 20s. And they look like a couple Big E's on the corner with signs up. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, when did the lack of shame come in? Like that, you would think for you and I, that would be like, wow,
That's
I've hit
rock
bottom.
bottom.
I am starving.
Yeah.
My family is starving as I literally stand out here and beg. But you're right, dude. There's so many of these guys who look well dressed and shit.
Yeah.
I've seen the same group. It's just, it's their job.
And I don't remember that at any other point in my life. It seems like a new thing.
Last couple of years.
Yeah.
Just in areas like you're describing.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just seems weird. And this idea of at stoplights coming up to your car all the time, like, you know, I don't know. Downtown, you expect some of that kind of. You just kind of know that element is there. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it seems weird in West Bloomfield to see a guy who looks fully capable of working, has youth on his side, standing out there with a handmade cardboard sign begging for change. I don't know. It just never thought I'd see that day.
Right.
But I don't know. Anyway. So
how much did you give him?
I didn't give him shit. I gave him a dirty look. That's what I gave him, Jay. And usually I'll give those guys, if they look like they've honestly just woke up from sleeping on that street corner, I have no problem giving them a buck.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. That's fine. You know, there are people worse off than everybody.
Yeah. It's these guys who look like they're up to shenanigans.
If I see you dressed like that on a corner begging for change, it's like, no, dude, you look like you're going to work this corner and then you're going to hop in your car and drive home to the wife and kids. That doesn't count as someone needing to beg for money.
Yeah, you're not downtrodden enough.
Yeah.
We need more downtroddenness.
Yeah, you need to get some makeup artists out here to do you up, make you at least look the part.
Agreed.
And then Michael Brown Sr.
The unarmed teen.
Yeah.
His dad, the unarmed team's dad.
He was in town this weekend. He was in the D. And
313?
Yes, he was. He in the 313. He was in town Friday and talking to a group of people. And this is good when you've got a big publicity push and you bring a guest speaker in. And he was soft-spoken, as you know. His words highlighted a panel discussion at the Metropolitan United Methodist Church. He said stuff like, the problem is you don't have old school officers. You don't have officers in your communities jumping rope with the kids, playing basketball with the kids, gaining their trust. It ain't you. It's the uniform they don't like. They see that uniform, they get scared. What we need to work on is building trust. That's what we need to work on.
I've heard the phrase, what's the old adage? Trust is a two-way street.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember.
It sure is. Yeah, Councilwoman Mary Sheffield organized the panel as a part of a series of events linked to the Occupy the Corner movement. We don't want what happened in Ferguson to happen in this city. About 36 people attended.
Ooh, wow.
Huge, big turnout.
Wasn't very well publicized, probably, right?
I saw it in the papers.
Yeah, we heard it. We heard about it a couple days before, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were going to send E, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about it.
I should have. Yeah, I should have done that. I wish we should have done that.
He said there's a lot of work that still needs to be done for these communities. And I agree. There is a lot of work that needs to be done, but there's, as Jay said a second ago as well, it's a two-way street.
The old adage.
Yeah. And it's inarguable that there were many, many things that Eric Garner, that Michael Brown Jr. could have done to prevent the outcome of what happened to them. And if you believe the accounts of these families, and it's hard because I, as I've always said, I don't blame the parents of Michael Brown for feeling the way they do. If that was your kid that was shot, the rest of the story would be irrelevant. You know, maybe at some point you go, yeah, but
I'm not
that's
sure about that.
Well, I think he means more in the initial, right, where you're just devastated and you don't. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
I don't doubt or begrudge them for feeling awful.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mean to.
And to see things, it doesn't surprise me when we see horrible stories all the time about people and how they went down. And there are people that know and love those people. And to them, the circumstances are kind of irrelevant. Their loved one is dead.
Well, and I guess moreover, if you're being told one side over and over, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Other side's lying. Yeah, you can see why that came out that way.
But there's a lot of people that would argue that, you know, maybe if you taught your kid under no circumstances do you fight a cop for his gun? Do you punch a cop in the head a bunch of times? You know, I don't care how he tells you to get the fuck out of the street.
I don't care how delicious those cigarellos look, Mike.
Yeah.
You go ahead and pay for those, or you don't smoke said cigarellos.
Yeah. I saw a lot of confused people too, thinking that the guy that was here in town was the burn this bitch down, burn this bitch down,
Yeah.
burn this
That
bitch
was the
down.
stepdad, right?
That was the stepdad. It was not Michael Brown Sr. Michael Brown Sr. We never heard him talk.
Always soft spoken when I
Yeah.
have heard him.
Yeah.
But he famously donned the "Gone Too Soon" shirt.
He did.
I
think he was going for "Gone Too Soon." He missed an O in there, and
it happens.
I'm not saying he had that shirt printed. I'm sure someone handed him that shirt, but yeah, if you would see that with Eric Garner, Big E, as it were, if you remember Big E.
Yes.
There were "Gone Too Soon" signs for him. Michael Jackson, when he died, he was also "Gone Too Soon."
Mhm.
Michael Brown Jr. also "Gone Too Soon."
It's a common error.
Mhm.
It happens, so we can't blame him specifically.
I blame the t-shirt manufacturers. I think they've got some sort of response. It's like the tattoo artist when you misspell a name on someone.
Don't you have some obligation to go, hold on, like like an email back, right?
Yeah. Because you know there's got to be a correspondence
Email.
somewhere.
Jay, email.
I'm kidding.
These are cash transactions, motherfucker.
COD.
Excuse me. Are you sure
At
that
so-and-so
you've spelled-
Gmail. Yes.
You're sure you've spelled this properly?
I think what you're going here, Mr. Brown, is the "Gone Too Soon."
TOO.
Yeah, and I don't you think that? I mean, just as a solid, do me a solid.
Yeah.
If I make a grammatical error that's going to make me look like an asshole, I think it's on that guy to go, sir, I'm sorry. I think you've got this wrong, or just fix it for him.
Yeah, you're putting it in print. You got to fix it.
When do you think the point was that when someone finally, like behind the scenes to him, do you think there was ever a point when
No,
someone,
I'm not sure there has been.
No, I don't think so either.
I think
Hey,
we're the only ones.
Hey, by the way, your shirt.
That point will be when he listens to the Detroit Cast.
when he checks out the Drake ass, huh? Yeah, how come none of the you think in some capacity some of the national media would have jumped on at some point and been like, by the way.
Yeah, like, just so you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what you're going for. I
People
think.
are laughing at you a
Yeah.
little bit. The whole "Gone Too Soon."
Well, I wonder if this is one of the Nana's pirated shirts.
That's a good
When
point.
that add insult to injury.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
remember that the
Oh,
grandma
yeah.
was hawking hot pirated shirts.
Didn't she take a brick from
Yes,
Leslie
she
McSpadden?
did. She
What a
surely
scenario.
did. Hey man, you got to strike when the iron's hot.
Oh well, you couldn't
Okay?
sell them now. You
That's
couldn't
true.
sell them anymore
Right.
now. Those yeah.
They were flying off the racks. They were going like hotcakes.
The market, as the market dictated, you know.
Correct.
It's not.
Yeah, there was definitely a period where you got to strike while the iron's hot, and
Yeah, you're not going to be buying a lot.
And
like,
Nana saw that. Nana was thinking ahead. She
Huge
knew
demand,
that.
and she filled it.
If
Yeah.
Nana set up a shop now with Gone Too Soon shirts
No,
or unarmed brown shirts, I don't think
unarmed brown.
unarmed man.
Yeah, it'd be a slow go for Nana right now.
Yeah.
So she,
Unless she decided to like a traveling circus. I mean, wherever he goes, I suppose she could set up a shop.
Yeah, just follow him around at his speaking engagements.
carry one of those long poles with the crook on the end.
Yeah.
With all the hangers on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll look good. Just
Get your
carry
Gone
it
Too
around.
Soon shirts here. Get your Gone Too Soon shirts here.
Did you want
$20, 2 for $45.
exactly right?
Yeah. $30, 2 for $50.
Selling commemorative cigarellos.
That would be a good market. I would say buy a shirt, get a free cigarello.
What if you
there
could?
go.
What if?
I mean, just as a marketing.
That's an entrepreneurial mind you've got.
Yeah.
right
Well, what
there.
if someone could go into those garbage bags and put on eBay?
Ooh, pick out some of the stuffed animals from the memorial. The rain drenched teddy bears.
How would you get an
Dude.
authorized certificate?
You'd need an auctioneer.
Get the SpongeBob. Can you imagine if you got the SpongeBob?
I would buy
You'd
that
need an
SpongeBob.
auctioneer.
Dude.
It would take forever.
The
You'd
Spider-Man?
need Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man here.
I'm
get
going on-
get SpongeBob here. Get SpongeBob.
I'm going on record that if I could guarantee authenticity of the SpongeBob or the Spider-Man that was in the
You'd take it?
I would
How
take
much?
it.
How much?
If I had the money, if this was I couldn't afford it now, but
$500.
I
for
would
that
pay
Spider-Man?
$500 if I could.
Wow. Well,
Just to have that Spider-Man that was in the fucking Michael Brown
Could you
Memorial.
imagine going up to that street corner? There's some asswipe with a lawn chair sitting there with a lemonade stand table popped up, just like, I'm leaning towards the Mighty Mouse, but that Daffy Duck looks really cute. I mean, it's hardly started running.
No, you need to see,
you know what? Give me the Daffy Duck and box the Mighty Mouse. I'm going to take that as well.
But it needs to have a certificate. You need to be able to prove to people that this was part of the memorial, the roadside memorial.
I think you'd see it genuinely rain-soaked and faded.
But that could be, I mean, they could just shove up, they could just
if
buy
you
a
could
bunch
get
of crap.
if you could get the family to give you a COA, you'd be good.
Yeah,
I mean, as
right.
long as they would sign off on a certificate of authenticity,
Exactly.
you'd be good. I think there's something there. What did they do with that?
I know, where are
did
those
find
bags?
a way.
They bagged them all up, remember?
Yeah.
Where
God,
did they
how
go?
moldy and nasty are those things right now.
Where did those bags go? Did they pretend?
Probably the Smithsonian.
Well,
Honest to God.
I was gonna wonder if they told the family that, and then they really just off to the dump.
Of course they did.
The Bobcat.
Oh,
yeah,
don't
I was
worry,
going to say, as Jay said, the Bobcat just went in and sweeperooed the whole pile.
They told
Just
the family,
shit can the whole pile.
don't worry, these things they're gonna be in a nice place. You'll be, and they're just.
And then they had to
Sweep
power wash the shit out of that cement, which was all rainbow colored.
A thoroughfare, if you will.
The Care Bear, the Mylar balloons hanging.
Yeah, not good. Speaking of Michael Brown,
You know, I heard
we did have.
I heard the thoroughfare, by the way, and I don't know which one of them said it, but I hate to admit, I don't know if people realize this, but there's other radio stations and stuff that you can listen to. I don't know why you would, but I was listening to one of them, and a 97.1 on their morning show, they mentioned the thoroughfare.
I've heard rumors of that. That
they said it on
thoroughfare
that?
is being used on that station quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name of the, but it was said.
Well, it is a word.
It
we
is.
Didn't,
Right.
we didn't make it up.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's anything like that when you're shopping for.
There you go. Like you buy a new car and all of a sudden you see that car everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
Just
that
hearing
word, when
thoroughfare.
you said it that day, I was like, I've never even heard of a thoroughfare. And now I do hear it on reports.
Yeah.
Well, they were standing in this public thoroughfare here, and I'm like, ha, 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 he said thoroughfare. He must listen to us.
Taking credit for it.
Yeah, that's Jay. That's Jay's. Anyway, Michael Brown, while Senior was off on his speaking engagements, hopefully making a pretty penny. His mom was off doing her own thing, and she was in Chicago at a new exhibit there at an art gallery.
Oh, nice.
Yes. It's a life-size depiction of Michael Brown's dead body.
Oh.
Yep. Gallery Gouchard is running 50 pieces by artist T.I. Rock Moore, which slam white privilege.
Is it
So it's an attack on white privilege.
holding the cigarellos? Or possibly his book says he's getting ready to go off to college.
No,
There
I'm
you
sure
go.
the dog can pull it up for you and show
his-
you.
I would think that would be the more apt portrayal for such an event.
Right.
Well, they've got him laying face down on the ground, and K-Dog's got a picture here so you guys can see it.
Oh, this is what people have been.
They've got it roped off. They've got Michael Brown laying in the street with that red hat.
Oh,
Remember
so it's literally like that. That's like
it's a life-size
mannequin, I guess, or dummy, or is that
Yeah.
a picture? Is that an image, like a painting, or is
No,
that?
that's a mannequin.
Okay.
No, that's a whole scene set up.
Okay.
there. Roped off with police things. What dude
Does it have the cop's gun
In his hand.
in his hand?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's I don't know. They've got so some of the other things they've got here: slave shackles, a noose hanging from a neon sign, a Confederate flag, black Statue of Liberty, a Ku Klux Klan uniform. They're also displayed alongside the mock crime scene. There's also a statue of Jesus Christ on a cross with a bag on his head beneath the words "I can't breath." The exhibit called "Wake Up, Wake Up" opened Saturday, runs through August 10th. So if anyone wants to make a trip to Chicago and go to the Wake Up exhibit, I think we should send you to the Wake Up exhibit.
I would go to
exhibit.
that if you wanted me to. If you wanted to give me a series of questions to ask people or something, I'm in.
Leslie McSpadden did visit this. They asked her if she wanted to come, and of course, they sent her a letter asking for permission, as if they would need her permission to put that up. But yeah, it looks
So
like they're
that's
missing
his-
some.
That's his red baseball hat there. Okay.
Yep. So So they believe this is part of a healing process of some sort. I
Okay.
don't know exactly. Seems more like
art's something else, isn't it?
Sure is.
I'll tell you what.
Doesn't it seem more kind of
Inflammatory.
Inflammatory, thank you. Yes. Than healing.
Yes.
This seems more inflammatory to me.
Well, Mike, it's a wake-up call. Wake up.
Right. Well, the fact is, more people than not believe that Michael Brown Jr. played a humongous part in that scene that we're looking at. And the thing that bothers me about all of this stuff is I think it's insulting to real problems when you're talking about a Klan uniform and then trying to put that on a same level as Michael Brown's unfortunate death, which it is. Anytime a 19-year-old is shot dead, it's an unfortunate thing. But to act like those two things are equivalent and deserve to be in a gallery together.
Shackles. I mean,
slave shackles and Michael Brown's death. It's bullshit. And there's a reason that they weren't able to prosecute this guy or bring charges even at the federal level.
As we've said,
when the Department of Justice looked at this case up and down and were desperate to bring charges.
Nothing they would have loved more.
Wouldn't have been only beneficial to them to do it. If they could have, they would have.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think it's insulting to put this on the same level and martyr these people. Every time some poor young African-American loses their life does not instantly make them a martyr. It just doesn't. Eric Garner, yeah, that's a tougher one, but Michael Brown especially.
Yeah, it's shoehorned in, and it
doesn't fit, and it seems inflammatory because there's a lot of people that go, yeah, that's pretty shitty to make this guy out to be a martyr and then fuck Darren Wilson's entire life up. This guy's living with death threats, going under the name Aaron Milson from now on. It's over for that dude. His career's shot. Michael Brown is shot.
He's Salman Rushdie.
Yeah. And it's like, let him take one for the team. Fuck him. And look what it's led to in this country. Look what's going on in this country with these stories. It's ridiculous. And, it's too bad, but things like this I don't think help. I don't think this is a wake-up call, and I don't think this is a healing moment. I think it's an opportunistic moment.
Say, it's not. I don't even think it's even meant. They can say it, but you're right. I don't even think it's even meant. I don't think in reality that's what they think they're doing. I think they say that because that's the best way to sell it.
Spin it. But yeah, it's a way to bring bodies in. It's a freak show. We're thinking about sending Eric there.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Take our $10 or whatever.
Well, could you imagine in reality if you had me ask, even that's just that one question to someone that worked there, I don't know if this is this in a normal gallery? Is this in a separate wing of the regular art, or is it, you know what I mean? Like, because if it's
regular art,
well, no, but like if it's at the DIA and it's just in one room, that the worker there is just the person that's just, works at the DIA and he happens to be guarding that room maybe. Or is this in a building where if everyone that's there, you know what I'm saying? Because that would make a big difference. Because if I asked the person, dude, how can this be?
Is this a standalone exhibit?
Yeah.
Well, they've got 50 pieces there, so it's taken up, and that's a big piece right there. But so I don't know how big the other pieces
are. But the point,
I
guess the point, I know I was kind of stumbling around it. The point I was making is, if I were to ask a person the question here, would it be someone who has a vested interest in this piece? Or would it just be some
security guard there that's
security
like,
guard.
This is a bunch
dude,
of bullshit.
I don't really care, dude.
It's obviously just attention grabbing. It definitely, wow, you look at that and it looks like a body laying there, and yeah. Grabs your attention.
And unfortunately, anything can be deemed art. You could literally shit on the floor in there and go, this is my art piece. It speaks to the dirty nature of the city, of city life. And you're like, okay.
There you go, Mike.
A piece of shit on the floor, but whatever, dude.
Mike, I think you got something there. I think you should put shit onto a thing and send it to the DIA and say, this is my...
Speaking of that, did you see the red ping pong table at the DIA?
I didn't.
Dude. Come on, man. We've talked about that several times. You didn't go see the red ping pong table?
I think of four things maybe, and certainly the red ping pong table is one of them.
Yeah.
The can of soup.
What did I see?
A can of soup is not at the DIA.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay, well.
It's a Warhols.
So shows you how little I know of art. I just assumed that that's just everywhere.
No, Diego Rivera you went to see an exhibit, right? Diego and Frida?
Yeah.
What did you think about the main mural in that
That was
what is it,
impressive.
in the opening,
Yeah.
the production line and all that. You'd never seen that before?
No, I mean, I guess I had in pictures or something.
I knew, right? Like
Yeah.
I knew once you saw
Yeah,
it.
were
Jay
we
did
talking about
too.
that on the air or off air? You were
I think
contending
both,
never
I
to have
think.
seen it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
both.
And
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, it is, and the size of it
Mhm.
makes it even sweeter. But when I was telling you, when I saw Frida's work, it was like, really, they're trying to shoehorn this in as an artist. Half of her art was done on napkins,
Really?
like drawings and shit. Like, oh, Frida did this and a blah blah blah, and
And was
And
she
it's
simply
written on
his girl? Like,
Yeah.
is that how she claimed
yeah,
to fame? So a Yoko Ono type situation?
yeah. And I'm sure there are some people that say she was a brilliant artist, but
Sure.
half of the shit was written on like those small like pad of paper that you get at a hotel with the hotel's logo on the top.
Oh, no.
And she just kind of flip it over and just do some hand doodle of herself, of course, always of herself. And it was like, oh yeah, and then now it's framed in
Here
the
I
gallery.
am doing this. Here I am doing that.
And it's like, oh wow, yeah, another penciled selfie of
Can you
you.
imagine that if just your dumb doodles, like I doodle all the time, I just scratch around on
I should
stuff.
start saving
If
those,
that
Jay.
became frigging art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at him.
When you start tossing them, like
There
you
go,
gotta toss
dude,
your
the red
paper.
ping pong table.
See if you can find some of Frida's work. Yeah, $45 million.
Whoa, God, that's
Bullshit.
infuriating. That is infuriating.
What is it? What is this meaning that's supposed to be? Is there any?
How can that be, dude?
Is there a way to look up what the it's supposed to mean? I guess
It
or-
literally looks like a
I
red
know-
ping
don't worry
pong
about it,
table
don't
without a
worry
net.
about it.
Yeah.
I'll look
The
it
red
up
ping
later.
pong table looking piece is worth $45 million, the DIA report says.
Art sucks. I'm on record.
Yeah, I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't Dolly stuff, some of Dolly stuff, is it Salvador? No, not Dolly's. Whose is at the DIA?
Van Gogh? There's that famous Van Gogh.
Yeah, no, who's the other
Self-portrait?
guy? Shit, why can't I think of his name right now? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I saw some of their stuff. We walked around and I don't know.
Look at that brow. She's so gross. And look at the stash coming in.
Yeah.
Frida.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, he wasn't much of a looker himself.
Well, I
either.
don't care. Look at that. Oh, it's just everything's off, man. Look at the neck.
Yeah. It's not.
It's giraffe like. What's on her forehead?
Well, that's obviously. It looks like a skull and crossbones. That's supposed to be her thought process or her a thought. she's
Damn
having,
it.
I
There's
guess.
just everything's off there.
She looks like a man for one to me. But.
Okay. Now her face on a deer that's pummeled with a bunch of arrows.
You. That's all you care about. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, everything I saw of her was a self-portrait or.
Oh, gross.
Look how dark I am. Look how deep my thoughts are.
Her laying in bed and a bunch of shit, coming out of her mouth? Going
Or
into her
falling
mouth?
into her, I guess.
I don't know what to think about that, Mike.
Yeah. Art. Good luck explaining it.
Oh,
come
Oh, look at
on.
her. She's like she's like a fidget sucking from the teat of I don't know what.
Even as a baby or a fidget, she is hideous.
Yep.
Everything's
She-
off.
I wonder if she thinks she's beautiful or if she just has a shit ton of self-loathing going in some capacity. I don't know.
Dude.
Why would she she's printing herself. You could
Look
make
at the
yourself look good.
stash. How do you
Yeah. She
do
did
that?
kind of dress like a man at one point. She cut her hair really short and put a big suit on.
Oh God.
And yeah.
Hmm.
So she had some little so weird. Did you guys see over the weekend the raccoon that was making waves?
Yes.
The dead raccoon.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. There was a raccoon in Toronto that had died on the street.
Huh.
Did you see that? Ian?
I guess I didn't.
So they expected city services to come and remove it, but it laid there for a while, and passersby started coming. They started walking by and started to mourn this thing.
Mourn it?
Well, what was it? The residents had complained
You know
to the
what?
city, like, please pick up this dead animal.
Yeah,
Because apparently it was in like a super residential downtown area. Just
Yeah.
a raccoon gets hit. He's right off the street onto the sidewalk.
I did see these images, but I just didn't really. I didn't look into it. I saw this posted, but
it started just after 9 a.m. when a worker alerted city workers to its presence with a picture on Twitter. So once it goes to Twitter. So the gestures began with someone leaving a note next to the remains, which read, Rest, dear raccoon. Help is on the way from the city.
Look at the fucking
The picture.
Look at that Proops.
Hanging in Proops.
the picture of
Yeah, so people start leaving shit like a memorial. So the thing that E is laughing about right now and not explaining is a picture that's sitting next to him.
in a frame, though.
In a frame. Looks like you would do. You know, they picture of Michael Brown,
Yeah.
you know, in his high
At a
school
funeral.
cap and gown, and it's framed there. And so they've framed a picture of an actual raccoon and put it there in a frame.
Great, dude.
He's holding a rose. City Councilor Norm Kelly took a picture of the animal and urged staff to pick it up as people were having fun with it.
And
God
then
forbid.
people start having more and more fun with it, and the pictures just develop as they go. More flowers,
Yeah.
more notes. A joint gets put in his hand. Look at his little
He's like-
Proops hands, man.
Yeah, he's clutching his cigarette. He's got his rose.
He likes to party, man.
And someone set down a card, and left a Sharpie there so people could write their condolences.
That's I would so if I walked by that write condolences.
Gone too soon for sure.
God, it's got to start stinksing very, very soon, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the you know what, dude. That is the thing. Having said that, from being a runner, running on the side of the road, you maybe think you realize it in your car, but dude, when you're on the side of the road and you've been by one of these, a week later, whatever goes by,
And as Gary, the dead body expert, says, pretty soon that thing's gonna pop.
which
Right? Because the bacteria is just going nuts and the heat and everything. Bowels are gonna release right onto that card. I don't know. I don't know that I'd write on that card.
I'd write on it.
I think I'd swiftly walk by. I don't know that I'd stop.
Well, this kept up all day, and people kept calling city services to get this thing out of there. And nightfall comes, and so people start setting down candles,
Tea light candles.
tea light candles. Even Jesus, you know those Jesus ones in the
Yeah.
glass with the Jesus
candle, the
candle thing on it. It was lit up.
silhouette on it.
So they had a candlelight vigil for this thing before finally city services showed up and cleaned it up.
Humans, man.
People were all pissed off too. There was outrage because it was disrespecting the dead. Look at that son of a bitch.
Disrespecting the dead. Whatever.
I know.
It's a freaking raccoon. He shouldn't be there in the first place. His
People
own
are-
fault.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. Well, people were coming up with T-shirt designs online for him. He's getting his own T-shirt now for the dead raccoon. Yeah, people thought the stunt was very disrespectful.
Oh man,
very, very disrespectful.
Hey, Chris Stajelski, got to mention our friend Chris Stajelski. Maybe your Proops needs a bigger yard.
Yeah, Proops.
Maybe your family is expecting its very own sweet pie. If you're looking for a new home, Chris Stajelski of Remax Suburban is the realtor you need to help you find the home of your dreams. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. Please use Krista. She's a friend of the show. Great realtor. See how I said that, Mike? Realtor.
Yeah, realtor. I heard you.
Please give her a call.
Before we get to email, I wanted to mention that we had a couple new Toiks join the rank.
Dude.
It's going to be a tough decision this year. Who wins our for new listeners? Toik means Teacher of Year candidate. So any of these hot chick teachers that are putting out for their male students get into the pool of Toiks,
And then at the end of the year, we pick a winner.
We'll pick a winner.
Last year we had dual winners, the threesome. Right?
Yeah.
The two teachers who had
Yep.
the threesome with the kid.
Yep. I believe that was declared the winner, right?
Yeah,
How
we
could
had
it not have been? I
we had
remember
the
thinking.
I remember sawing the trophy in half and
It
presenting
was-
it to.
It was a late entry, so maybe that was appealing too. That
Yeah.
kind of like submitting
gotta be
movies
top
to
on
the
mi-
Oscars.
Top of mind.
Totally.
Yeah, it was top of mind when it because we were getting bored with the story, but then it was like,
Oh,
wait a minute,
shit.
these two chick teachers had a three-way with one of their students.
Well, like you said,
Hands down winner, runaway winner.
it became a situation where we stopped talking about them unless there was a reason to talk about it because there were so many.
Yeah, you had to involve anal or
Had to have a new wrinkle of some
It
sort.
couldn't
Yeah,
just be
exactly.
boring old sex with the teacher.
Yeah. Well, we've got a new one here. 24-year-old Fatima Grupico.
Nice, a little exotic.
Yep, former history teacher at Cardinal McCarrick High School in New Jersey. She had sex on several occasions with a 17-year-old male student.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
I want to go back, Jay. And not because I want to party harder or not because I want to be cool.
Want to get beat up again?
Yes.
She's got an amazing rack. She's really cute. There's no way that's there's no victim here. This is a victimless crime. She might be my front runner. And then we had a teacher at a charter school in Pennsylvania. She's been charged with banging a student. Katie Cross is her name, 31 years old.
A little old for a toik, you know.
Yeah.
She's got 3 kids and a husband.
But don't you think though, Jay? 31, a little
old.
veteran
She's
toik.
she's out of that party girl stage.
She's not gonna win Rookie of the Year.
No. No, and she's not gonna win the award either.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
why is this remarkable?
Give it up for her. She was on the street and cops called for suspicious activity in a vehicle, and cops rolled up and found her banging her student in her car just in the middle of the street.
The thoroughfare.
And they said she told officers, I'm the teen's teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just admitted it right there.
And the victim,
quote unquote,
victim.
Yeah.
They didn't say that with a straight face. The victim told the cops, "Oh yeah, I've been fucking her since February." So
I'm shocked the victim's quote wasn't, "Hey, why don't you get the fuck out of here?" Yeah. No need, cops. Oh, we got this under control.
Yeah. Almost done, dude. If you'd get the fuck out of here and let me wrap this up. Come on, man. I've been trying to close this all night.
Jay's right though. I hate to say this. Thanks for playing, but you're
yeah, but every team.
Thanks for submitting your entry, Miss Cross.
Every team's got its role players and bench players, right?
Okay,
I mean, yeah, she's coming off the bench, but still a good effort.
No, she could have a good personality.
And who knows? Maybe she's a stud, and when you get to the finals or something, who knows?
Like,
maybe she could surprise you.
Like Bill Cartwright later in his career. That turnaround jumper, that real high, just
hard to defend.
It's very hard to defend.
Well, I was gonna say that maybe she has a good personality and she could be like Miss Congeniality of the Toiks,
beautiful eyes.
But
yeah,
it'd be a major upset.
She could get out of the first round in a bracket. I mean, if she got teamed up
the
in the right situation,
was
she needs to have some real skeletons in her closet to have a chance at this.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah. That's fair.
Hey, look, listen, Zott Ford and Holly, the official auto dealership.
Before you say, in fairness, that's her mugshot. The other girls are primped and going out partying.
Do you have another image?
I don't.
Kadog? Nothing.
Yeah, she doesn't have much of a social media.
Well, that's smart
footprint.
at least.
No, she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Zott Ford and Holly, the official auto dealership of the Detroit Cast, is also Metro Detroit's leading lease pull-ahead authority. They specialize in getting people out of their current leases up to 12 months early. That's right. It doesn't matter what brand your lease is or how many miles you have on it. Zott Ford can assist you in getting out of your lease early and into a shiny new Ford. Now's the time. Go to Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 and let them get you out of your overpriced, over-mileage lease and into the Ford of your dreams. No one can beat Zott Ford at terminating your current lease up to 12 months early. Also, their goal is to match or lower your current payment. Check out their marvelous deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Did you want to address the Facebook thing really quick?
Sure.
I've got a story about a woman in London who was Gemma Rogers
wrongly kicked off of Facebook.
She's been kicked off. She's been desperately trying to get back on.
I can somewhat sympathize, Mike.
Her name is Gemma Rogers. She's from East London. She created the profile in 2008 under the pseudonym Gemmaroid von Lala.
What tipped them off?
Laalaa. La. Because she wanted to avoid unwanted friend requests. Last month, she got a message from Facebook asking her to send identification to prove it was a genuine name and account.
Oh,
Any of this ringing familiar with anybody?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gemma sent a fake photo to Facebook of a bank card she had photoshopped to prove it was a real name. And a day later, her account was suspended and she was locked out of Facebook. She emailed Facebook explaining the situation, sent her real ID, begging them to turn her back on, but she was told they could not confirm her identity and the account was suspended. So in a desperate bid to get her profile back, she changed her name by deed poll.
Oh my God.
Yes. And her name is now officially Miss Gemmaroid von Lala.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
I will never bow to the throne of the book.
Yeah.
Like Miss Lala.
She did, though, and now they still won't turn her shit back on.
Wow.
Yeah, despite these efforts, I've been locked out of my account for 5 weeks now and have lost all my photos, messages, and precious memories. So many people set up accounts in fake names so random people can't add them or so they don't have to awkwardly decline requests.
Or so they can't be Googled all over the place.
Exactly. But Facebook have been over the top. They should be able to tell if it's a genuine account, but just under a fake name. I can't believe I'm being punished like this. She even had to order new bank cards and a driver's license with her new name on them. And despite sending the documents over to Facebook, she's only been able to get automated responses saying they'll look into the problem. It's ludicrous. What if a victim of abuse wants to have Facebook but doesn't want people to find her? So they set up a pseudonym. Facebook has too much power, and it's actually quite scary.
What if somebody wants to be on a podcast and have a stage name?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are they to do?
I don't apparently.
I think you're onto something. I think what Facebook wants is they're getting pressure to verify individuals so that they can claim to their advertisers that we've got really usable data as to who these people are.
Yeah.
And we're going to hand you over really accurate data on them.
Yep. And if you start sending over Gemini Van Bullwinkle as a name, it's harder
You're
to
losing
sell
credibility, that. Facebook.
You are. And so because it happened to you, Mr. Detroit Cast, and it happened to Ms. Lala. Seems like a lovely woman. And it probably happened to a lot of people. But what are they going to do? Kick Kid Rock out if he's got a Facebook page?
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It's his name, Bob Ritchie.
Robert Ritchie. They're going to make it. I mean, I don't know. That seems like a real problem.
That's going to be my argument, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to contact these sons of bitches. I will never bow to the throne, as I said.
Well, you could get a new license.
I don't care about the book that much.
Yeah.
And if the book says no, I'm done with the book. I don't care.
Yeah. But there were a lot of people thinking you quit on them and you gave up, and it's not the case. I've tried to defend your good name from some of these people, but there are definitely people that are like, because I think we had an argument or something on the air, or there was a "fuck you, Jay" or something that went down. It was like, oh, I guess Jay walked from that blah blah blah. And I was like, oh yeah, you think so? You think Jay bowed out?
I walked by turning my Facebook profile
What a big
off,
deal that really
took my ball and went home.
What a big deal that became, because you're right. I got several messages, and including the one person that came out on Friday to the comedy thing, like asked me, so what's the deal with this Facebook thing? Like, it was such a controversy that all of a sudden that you weren't on Facebook.
I guess it would be kind of weird. All of a sudden,
Well, people go to tag us in.
So what did it
when
do?
They make a
like
comment,
come up with a prompt like, he's gone?
It comes up with a prompt. You can see your image, and then it just goes blank, and it says it's been shut down or suspended.
Well, it was funny because
the
first day that it happened, I remember all of a sudden I saw like on one of the comments just, so is Jay not on Facebook? And I'm like, that's not true. And I started to type your name, and I'm like, wow, he's not coming up. I guess he isn't.
I've decided to express my views on the message board instead, and Twitter.
There you go.
There.
I was on the message board today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commenting to some fine folks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my talents to the message board.
I like it
instead of the book. Fuck the book.
Yeah, I think the book is a necessary evil in some respects, but you can't be disrespected like that.
No,
not the king.
Not the king, exactly. How are we doing for email?
We do have some email.
Before you should mention the Twitter contest, man, going on with the memes. There's been some really good ones over the weekend. I don't know if you've checked some of them out. But.
Good idea. The Red Bull Twitter contest. Of course, the rally race on Belle Isle is taking place on July 25th and 26th.
Yeah.
We'll be there, and we want you to be there too. General admission tickets are available at a discount. If you go to our website, you'll see a Red Bull link, and you can hit that, or you can win them by sending us an email about your favorite race story. It could be anything concerning race, a race that you ran in, somebody else ran in,
African-American race.
Not human racist, right?
Why? He said anything involving races.
Athletic competition or an auto racing competition.
You can't change the rules now. I specifically heard him say anything about races.
And we have had some entries come in, and I will be reading those, some of them on air as we go forward, but that's one way to do it, general admission. And then to get the big daddy, the VIP is what you want, right? So the way you do that is create a meme involving the Detroit Cast logo and also the Red Bull logo. And those are the only parameters. You can just be creative and do whatever you want.
Use the hashtag. You have to use the hashtag
the Detroit Cast Red Bull.
Yeah.
So hashtag the Detroit Cast Red Bull. Make sure you tweet at us at the Detroit Cast, and then anything else goes. And the idea is get the most retweets you can. So pimp it around as best you can. We will retweet you to get you started, but be creative and see where that goes.
And there's been, dude, I'm not kidding. There's been some over the weekend that I thought were pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. Definitely doing a good job with that. So keep doing that. Randy writes in, hey guys, I loved hearing the short blurb about the Grateful Dead reunion shows, and it's great to know Walters is somewhat of a fan. I went to all
huge fan.
Went to all of the three.
Somewhat. That's what he got out of you saying that. You talked about going to like several shows.
Yeah, but if you listen to him, this is a real fan right here.
Okay,
He's been to 85,
a major deadhead.
Yeah, 85 shows from 1986.
Holy hell, dude.
He went to all of the 3 Chicago Fare Thee Well shows. And let me tell you, the parking lot scene has changed a bit. Walters said you rarely see a fight at the shows, and he would be right, but not all is peace, love, and granola at these things. As a true fan may know, there is a strong nitrous oxide presence in the parking lots before and after shows. There's a nitrous mafia group that has taken over the scene and will beat down anyone that challenges them.
What?
My close friend saw some guy complaining about a $10 balloon. He saw him pistol whip to shut the fuck up.
Man,
as for ticket sales, I personally know at least 6 people that got into the shows for free. Security just let them into the venue. So take that ticket sales record and add at least a few hundred to 1,000 people. I've seen 85 Grateful Dead shows since 1986. I've also seen the last Chicago shows, which were played like crap. I must say, as a hardcore head, these shows were better than the last years of the Grateful Dead. Trey really was the star of the shows. The main reason I went to the shows and flew in from Charlotte was not primarily for the music, but to see old friends and people I met from the very active online community. You're right that the last true Grateful Dead shows ended in Chicago in 1995. But after seeing these shows, I felt there was true closure for many of the people that were there. I'm not an emotional guy, but I teared up many times during these. Probably won't care about this email. Just wanted to let you know heads are listening, and this one is a huge fan of the show. Cheers, Randy.
Cool, Randy.
Looks like we did care about that email, Jay.
I was quite a deadhead, actually. I loved going to those shows. I had tickets in Indiana, the Great Gate Crashers show that was canceled when people crashed through the gates. Like in Indiana, their version of Pine Knob. So if you go to the back of Pine Knob on the top of the hill, they have a fence. It was Deer Creek in Indiana, and they've got a fence that runs along that. And gate crashers trampled that fence and started people that didn't have tickets and started crashing in, and they canceled both shows in Indiana. Troy and I and Deuce went down there. Troy's mom's got a house there, and we had tickets for that show and weren't able to go. And
bastards.
Crazy. That was, as someone that's been to, I don't know, 1,000 concerts, the Deadhead shows were totally different than any show you'll ever go to. Totally different scene. You could literally have a blast just walking around the parking lot scene. Every bit as much fun as in the show itself.
But the nitrous mafia, that surprises you?
There were definitely people walking around with balloons of stuff.
But pistol whipping people?
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Wow.
Can't imagine that.
Times are a-changing. Wolfie writes in, hello, lovers. In regards to Eric's math skill, come on, Wolfie. In regards to.
Are you saying that he's about to rip on me for something, but he made a mistake?
Yeah, but he's going to rip on your math skills and then your homosexuality. So stay tuned.
Oh, okay.
When posed with the question of how long it will take to drive 80 miles while traveling 80 miles per hour. Way to go, E.
He got it.
This was somewhat of 1 minute. Yeah. This was somewhat of an unfair question because you're clearly not speaking his language. Try something he's more familiar with. Here we go, Eric. While you're giving a rim job to a guy, you flick your tongue 80 times per minute. How long will it take you to flick your tongue 80 times?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Cue the light bulb over E's head. There you go, Eric. See, you're not dumb. They just weren't in your wheelhouse, my friend. Yeah. Warmest regards, Wolfie. That's how he always signs off. Warmest regards.
Warm regards.
Sean writes in, fuck, every journey begins with one small step or whatever. That was too much. Great work by the Mongoloid. Remember that one, E?
Yeah.
Couldn't come up with that.
I'm just
drew a blank. Sometimes you draw a blank.
I'm just going to claim that all of those are planned and I'm just that fucking smart and funny.
Sure.
Yeah. I can.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
I can relate. You're sitting here, you're trying to express a view, the Renaissance period. Couldn't think of it earlier. All the time that happens. So we'll give you a free pass on that one, E. Sometimes that retarded fuck, says Sean, is too much to handle, and I would like to give the old sweeperoo. But the show would not be radio gold without his dumbass, and you got to keep this stock eater. Good day, sir. I said good day.
Is it like it's funny how even the compliments
there's
are
a groundswell of compliments for him lately.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
I think that really irked some people, that whole kill off the Big E character.
I like the idea. I told this to Jay after the show the other day when we were talking about the emails, like the idea of quote unquote the character. Again, I'm not to be weird about it.
Son of a bitch could turn it off.
I don't turn it on. We don't turn. It isn't like I'm sitting here before with my monocle reading the fucking Wall Street Journal, and then we turn on the show and I'm like, penis. Like, like when you hear here, like when I'm with my friends, I texted the friends I went to the lake with today, and honestly was like, even just like, dude, thanks for even asking me to come out. And I tell them that it's not lost on me that when you ask me to come out and hang out with you for 2 hours, it means that you get me sitting there for 2 hours making jokes nonstop, sitting there in the sand making like cum jokes. And I'm like, thanks for allowing.
Stop.
That's partly why this is so damn tiring. This whole exercise every single day.
It's amazing. You wouldn't think a human being, given what we do,
could
just chirp so loud.
And you have to say
nonstop.
And I have to say relatively, essentially no drugs, like a Red Bull maybe. But I mean, I'm not like doing lines of Coke in the bathroom over there.
Could you imagine Ian Coke?
Tom writes in, gentlemen and Mike and Jay. See, there's another like plus for E. There's a groundswell support for this guy.
He's probably talking about what E favors, gentlemen.
Hashtag Tard Nation.
That's what he's talking about.
That's what I need to get trending.
That's great.
That's it. I've just decided that if anyone that actually likes me, if you want to like comment on my Twitter, so you can start using hashtag Tard Nation. That should be a shirt.
Tom writes in, gentlemen and Mike and Jay, you guys got me hooked on Mike Massey.
Mike Massey.
Massey.
I can't say his name.
Mike Massey.
Dude, I was calling him Mike Massey forever, and now I'm trying to say it right, and I can't do it. Mike Massey. Mike Massey. Okay.
I think.
I live in Denver, says Tom, and was able to catch him at a local bar just this afternoon.
Oh,
Please
shit.
view the image below for proof. Handing him some cash while still getting my freeze worth with you guys made me feel guilty, so I clicked the donate button when I got home. Thanks, Tom.
Nice. Did you tell him that you had heard? Oh,
I emailed back and said, hey, dude, did you tell him you heard about him on the show or what? Keep up the good work. Big E is my favorite character, says Tom.
There you go.
And there he is. No joke, man. That's Mike.
Look at he's looking
playing to a room of nobody. It's amazing.
Nice.
Freaking musical genius playing to Tom
with an ashtray sitting there. You don't see an ashtray at a table very often.
I'm a musical genius playing to nobody.
Playing to
here
Tom.
I am playing to nobody. Here I am just kicking out kick-ass songs.
Honestly, he's on a deck somewhere with like a plastic table and chairs in front of him.
This is an outrage. We talk about outrages all the time. It's an outrage.
We got to see about bringing him to Detroit.
This is reprehensible behavior.
You haven't done that in a while.
Right?
Maybe that's what he likes. Maybe that's what part of his demands in his rider is that no one's allowed to go to the show. I demand that no more than 3 audience members are there and quietly
golf clap.
Yeah, that's true. Then mission accomplished, apparently.
I need one person in a weird jean shorts to walk by the camera and back again. That's what I demand. And I'll put on the greatest show you've ever heard. It's remarkable. You would think, we're gonna blow him away because we'll bring him to town and we'll put a few hundred people in a place.
Yeah, he'll probably get stage fright. Oh my god, what do I do?
Yeah,
come on, Mike. We'll have to talk him out the back.
Yeah.
You can do it, dude. You can do it. You're smart enough. You're good enough. People like you. Come on, Mike.
And darn it.
Hey, we'll save the rest for tomorrow, man.
Okay. Well, we've gone long for a Monday show anyway.
Here goes Kadog in typical Kadog form. Proofs to take us out of the YouTube feed.
It improves. All right. Well, have a good day, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us and listening to the show. We certainly appreciate it. Proofs. Yeah.
Rate us on iTunes.
Yes, please do. 5-star, preferably. Or preferably. Whatever.
Yeah, go to iTunes and rate us. That's what we need. We need more iTunes ratings.
Yes.
We've been told.
Yes, we've been told that's important. Make a comment and 5-star review it if you could. We'd appreciate that.
If you find it in your heart.
Yeah. And with that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all-new Tuesday edition.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.